Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I hope we're not going to engage in the metaphorical infinite regress here with Professor Dave. When he made that very, very good takedown video of Destiny, basically just shitting on him and completely deconstructing why Zionism is actually bad, guys, and just shitting on Destiny. Naturally, Destiny responded, saying it was a hit piece, and all the DGGers were extremely triggered about Dave and were just constantly calling him an anti Semite. Which is probably like the worst possible rhetorical tactic because you can immediately debunk all the stupid bullshit that they're saying by saying, guys, why the fuck are you people conflating Zionism with Judaism? Professor Dave, throughout the entirety of that time, is being extremely specific in mentioning only the state of Israel and Zionists. You motherfuckers are the ones who are bringing up Judaism into all of this, which unironically makes you the anti-Semitic ones. But then again, we're talking about DGG and Destiny and all of his associated fucking psychotic little freaks. And I suppose there's also this Pangburn individual. Never heard of them before, but from what I understand, they're just some stupid, annoying, like debate bro lib individual that's like somewhat adjacent to Destiny. All I know is that the dude offered to moderate some donate like debate between Destiny and Hassan, where he would moderate, and said that it was going to be, you know, a $500,000 debate, right? Like for charity, and I'm just like, how the fuck are you gonna get 500K Pangburn? Because that sure shit's not coming from Destiny, and Hassan's not going to participate in any debate with Destiny because there is no point in debating someone like Destiny because he's, well, the head of a cult. So what is the point of doing all this? Oh, and he also did like all of the exact same like propaganda epic debunkings that Destiny also did. So AK didn't really debunk much of anything at all, if I were to take an assumption. About 40%, 35 to 40% of this video covers Pangburn. Maybe we'll take a look at about 5 minutes of what Professor Dave says um, about Pangburn. I'm mostly curious to see about this whole shit where this fucking dumbass probably does not understand why Israel gets compared to the fucking Nazis, and why very often a lot of people say that this the actions of Israel is essentially the modern day Holocaust. Again, like there was also apartheid in Nazi Germany, which is currently happening within the West Bank and also in Gaza, in terms of just indiscriminate bombing of children and civilians, of course. Israel is doing that. Israel has had full control over the resources of Gaza. Gaza does not have an airport because Israel does not allow them to have an airport. They don't have any ports either because Israel does not allow them to have ports. This is the exact same fucking behaviors that that the Nazis did also to Jewish people within Germany, that Israel is doing to Palestinians. It is period, end of story, the same thing. It's just the biggest difference is, well, you know, why build the camps when we can just use Gaza as the camp and surround it with a big ass fucking fence, which Israel did, Pangburn, but I think you might be too stupid to understand that. So we'll probably take a look at that segment in particular, because that's really the only thing that intrigues me, because everything else that he says is fucking stupid, and I'm going to operate under the assumption that he has no idea about how genocide works, because he's a stupid Destiny simp. Otherwise, we're mostly just going to be focusing on Destiny, because he's a psycho. Anywho, Dave, take it away.
It's been a minute since I dropped this Hiroshima bomb, immaculately laying out the case for Israel's genocide against Palestinians and dunking on Destiny the fake progressive for denying said genocide. Well, now that the massive wave of damage control from his camp is over, it's time to drop the Nagasaki, so buckle up. If you haven't seen this video, go ahead and give it a watch first. It was a long time coming, given how much I've been talking about Israel in passing in other content, and I was quite pleased to see how many eyes I was able to open regarding the cesspool of immorality and disdain for human life that is Israel. Again, Destiny's cult went absolutely apeshit over it and brigaded my channel harder than any troll army has ever brigaded me before, perhaps with the singular exception of Matt Walsh's cult when I made some content about trans people. Congratulations, Destiny's cult, you're one notch less toxic than the Daily Wire lemmings, and I really mean just one small notch. While Matt's cult left comments shouting pedo and groomer literally every couple seconds for 2 full weeks, Destiny's cult left similarly toxic comments every 20 seconds or so for only 1 week, still desperately trying to change the optics in service of their loser hero. So I cut off their brigade just like I did for Matt, because that's what troll armies deserve, and they had a fucking conniption about that too. All of this activity was perhaps the funniest part of the debacle to me. In my video, I specifically showed what a Zionist smear campaign from a bot army looks like. The fake copy-pasted Twitter posts that...
Yeah, this is all the exact same fucking posts. Dude. Hey, Destiny... and by the way, Destiny also uses fucking bot farms, or at least some DGGers are also creators of fucking bot farms as well. Well, they will post the exact same copy and pasted responses over and over and over again, because again, these people are not original. I keep saying this over and over again, okay? That Destiny is functionally no different than the conservatives that he pretends to hate. These like blue MAGA fucking weirdos. Although honestly, is Destiny even blue MAGA? I would probably say like no. He's just a freak. Like that's really all there is to it.
All use the same wording, the bot farm output on my channel that was just thousands of instances of this dumb comment, and yet that's exactly what these dumbasses did to my Destiny video. Almost like they didn't know that their behavior was predicted in the first 5 minutes of the video they didn't watch. Thousands of comments that all mention something about being brain broken and bringing up mental health, and something about flat earthers. Dave is brain broken and he is the flat earther now. Concern for his mental health, profoundly transparent. This was of course happening on Reddit more than anywhere else, with all the exact same language. Brain broken because he's...
Oh, these motherfuckers love brigading on Reddit. Oh, they brigade on Reddit all the fucking goddamn time. This is a very, very common line of behavior from DGGers.
Speaks out against genocide, totally not curated at all. And when they were deprived of their primary tactic, swarming a comment section with copy-paste spam comments to try and change the narrative, they had a complete meltdown. All of this despite the fact that Destiny's cult actively encourages him to block people and delete their comments, and they even do it on his behalf. Check this shit out. Destiny's...
Oh, Destiny, by the way, will just block on first order principle, right? So Destiny will like pretend that he's someone who's for like open debate and whatnot, and he actually cares about like, I don't know, solving the issues, trying to get to some truth or consensus. No, he doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to have a fucking echo chamber. That's it. Ever since he decided to split from the rest of Twitch poll and have his like schizophrenic conniption against the left for no reason in 2019, he just wanted to have to self-isolate himself with his dumb fucking orbit and basically just have a cult around himself. Very common line of behavior here from Esteban Bonoblo.
IG comments are being flooded. We need to step up. It's got to be stupid Hassan Piker, and we need to do something. Just delete the comments we don't like. Someone pull a double shift of deleting comments for me. Come on, warriors. And just blatantly talking about how curating comment sections for optics is the only thing that matters to them. Unreal. This is why completely erasing these loser hypocrites is the only correct course of action. Letting them poison the optics is no good. If I combat their lies individually, I'm unhinged and crashing out. So instead, complete erasure is the obvious consequence, and they whine about that even though they specifically encourage it from their dear leader. Besides the meltdown...
Like, it's incredible to me, dude. Like, just how much of, like... Destiny, you people want to be treated seriously, yet you have like the dumb fucking cult that is no different than that of fucking MAGA. Like, I need people to understand just how like critically unserious this whole sort of like I don't know, like collection of individuals, generally speaking, is. I don't know, man. It really is just one of those things where I just like I look at all these like fucking freaks and I'm just like, yeah, well, you know, that's Destiny for you. A collection of extremely unserious fucking weirdos because, again, he's a dude who just wants to, like... Because the thing with Destiny is that he just wants to pretend to be, like, the most correct guy in the fucking room. Why? Because that's his whole basic fucking shtick. That's how he creates his content. It's stupid and it's incredibly fucking lazy. And you should hate it. And I do hate it. And here's the fucking thing. He's just going to do literally everything possible to make sure that this... cult, I'm going to say it again, it's a cult, is basically going to be completely and utterly subservient and adherent to his sort of whim and will. Like, he... In every single way that you should just not like Destiny, oh boy, you should really not like Destiny.
from Destiny's cult, Destiny made a pathetic attempt at reacting to my video, where he basically just sat there either laughing and saying nothing, or skipping ahead frantically as I outlined the case for genocide he is ideologically bound to denying, like a young Earth creationist listening to a geology lecture. That was expected, of course, but the big surprise was Travis over at Pangburn having a total meltdown, making something like 50 hours of content about my one video, becoming...
Bro, what the fuck, man? Did he make, like, multiple 8-hour streams or something? Bro. Yeah, 50 hours? Did you have to go through, like, every single second of Professor Dave's video or something? Bro, what the fuck is this? Okay, bro. Like, nice meme.
Progressively more and more unhinged as he went. Just take a look at the run times of these reaction videos, as well as the titles of the more recent ones. In fact, that's part of the reason for the delay in making this follow-up video. I had to wrap up my incredibly extensive Fauci video, and then I had a short family vacation, but I also just had to let this wave of damage control wrap up simply to maximize the comedic impact of this video. I mean, truly, this guy is off his fucking rocker. In case you don't know who Pangburn is, he hosted my vaccine debate where Dan Wilson and I humiliated Pierre Corey and Steve Kirsch. He also platforms Destiny regularly through his anti-Trump tour. In fact, Destiny seems to be the only way this guy makes money these days, which would explain why he would expose himself by coming to Destiny's defense.
That's so fucking funny, dude. Yo. Dude, Pangburn. Pang. Dude, it's not worth it. Don't go for the fucking DGG simpery. The DGG bucks, that's a fucking stock that's going down, buddy. Don't do that. It's not worth it, bro. It's not worth.
Especially after some previous scandals he's had that we will outline later in the video. But the mask-off, full-blown genocide denial from him was definitely unexpected. Anyway, we're gonna go through Destiny's train wreck of a response, followed by select highlights from Pangburn's marathon damage control session.
DGG is Destiny's community, U235. His collection of weird freaks.
Since it's absolutely...
And also his website.
Hilarious. And for the cherry on top, we're going to go way deeper into Destiny's bizarre sexcapades involving minors and violation of consent. Because if his cult went this ape shit from my first video, why not give them a fucking nervous breakdown? Hornet's Nest, remember? Okay, let's get started by looking at Destiny's response. But which one? There are several. Every time Professor Dave lied in his hit piece. Was it really a hit piece, since for the vast majority of it I was talking about Israel's genocide and not him? That seems dishonest. Destiny reacts to Professor Dave's takedown video. WTF is this? This is me exposing you as a genocide denier. Oh, and then the damage control from the fans. Coward. Deranged hit piece. He's hiding and scared. Look how unhinged I am in this AI.
Man, here's is that fucking Food Shops? Quick reminder, Food Shops. There's a clip of Food Shops out there saying how, in order to satiate her pedophilic urges for minors, she would look at lolicon and like jerk off to it. So again, Food Shops shacking up with Destiny. You know, that makes perfect sense.
AI-generated expression I've never made in my life. Destiny exposes Dave. He's so terrified. And Hassan Piker is in the thumbnail for literally no reason whatsoever. Dave's brain is broken. There's that phrase again. Okay, which one do we tackle? This long one seems to be the main one, so let's dig right into it. Starting with the Stinger intro. Remember, the Stinger intro is always front-loaded with all the super awesome, most kick-ass moments where he is totally owning so hard. So if he's got any real ammo, we should see it right away, yeah? At any rate, influencers were being paid to disseminate the narratives that the state had settled on each day. Who?
Who? I keep hearing this claim. Who's getting paid? I haven't met anybody. I didn't get paid. Who's getting paid for this? Source? No.
Yes, he is actually trying to pretend that Israel doesn't pay influencers to disseminate propaganda.
Yeah, this is just a fucking lie. This is a constant pattern of behavior here by Israel because Israel knows. And unironically, Benjamin Netanyahu also said the exact same thing during, I believe, a particular interview. I think it was some interview on, I think, CNN or something. Or not CNN. I think it was in it with the not with CNN. I think it was on Fox News, and also I think it was also on. I was gonna say Fox. I think maybe it was also on Fox as well. I don't know 100% remember for certain, but no, like Benjamin Netanyahu unironically admitted to this. Like he said that we need, as a byproduct of Israel being as unpopular as it is right now, which Israel is. For a lot of very good reasons. Benjamin Netanyahu said that he has to start doing tours on all these fucking podcast shows in order to just talk with a lot of the young people who are having major problems with a lot of his fucking behavior, Destiny. So, I don't know, like, cope?
It is absolutely trivial common knowledge that Israel does this.
Oh, hello.
Fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefield in which we engage.
I know exactly what clip Professor Dave is referring to here, because guess what? We have also seen the exact same clip. Yeah. This is unironically, this motherfucker this motherfucker, Benjamin Netanyahu, was admitting to saying that, yeah, we need to talk with influencers and we need to talk with like young people because otherwise we are fucking cooked, boys. Is this Copacabana? Yeah. Yeah, true. Fuck you, Destiny. It's a good song. True.
True, and
That's true.
yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean,
Fun fact about Copacabana guy, or not Copacabana, Giga Chad guy. Apparently he's bisexual. Just wanted to throw that out there.
And the most important one is social media. We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers.
Yes, they fight with their weaponized influencers on social media, says Bibi himself. The most recent incarnation of this
By the way, similar thing that happens with the Qataris, Dubai as well does the exact same thing. They have like their own like fleet of like weirdo fucking influencers. A very, very common line of behavior.
activity is called the Esther Project, financed through Bridges Partners LLC, where influencers are paid up to $7,000 per post to promote Hasbro narratives. As you just saw.
Hey, I wonder why everyone on the left keeps constantly saying, hey, did you get paid $7,000 to say this? This is why, Destiny. It's not because of some fucking anti-Semitism or whatever the fuck you want to make it about. It's because, no, unironically, Israel admitted to paying people that. Nice meme.
Bibi has publicly admitted this, describing social media as the most important weapon, acknowledging that it's the reason they arranged for a Zionist takeover of TikTok, which we talked about in the other video. This has been going on well before October 7th, so you bet your ass it was happening with the greatest intensity immediately after October 7th, since that was the most crucial period for manufacturing consent from the American public for a pre-planned genocide America would be funding.
Just 3 days after October 7th, Israel launched an initiative to recruit social media influencers in the United States to defend Israel. A spokesperson said, fighting on social networks and influencing international public opinion is critical during wartime. The world must understand that Israel's struggle is one of light against darkness.
Hey, Destiny. Hey, you know, Destiny is a guy who purports to really care a lot about optics, right? He cares so much about the optics of a fucking situation. Destiny, what do you have to say about the optics of this? Israel just unironically just fucking admitting that, yeah, we're doing a bunch of influencer campaigns in order to make sure that we have the youth at our side and all these influences are at our side in order to manufacture consent for the genocide that we're planning to do. You know, Destiny, do you have anything to say about this, Destiny? Do you? Do you?
A life-loving culture versus lowly terrorists. It's obvious why Israel needs propaganda. The only way to have a country based on legalized racial supremacy is through propaganda. Like Nazi Germany and Jim Crow apartheid had, that twists the reality of the situation. And Israel actually has its own word for propaganda, which is Hasbara, which translates to explain in Hebrew. In the weeks following October 7th, Israel already had a lot to explain. A number of American influencers got emails offering them $5,000 and brand sponsorships in exchange for doing a single live stream supporting Israel. The email read, I'm reaching out to you on behalf of a global collective of agencies, influencers, and content creators who are coming together to raise awareness about the difficult situation in Israel.
And that's...
I wonder if Destiny got that exact same email. We definitely know that he is certainly strapped for cash, considering all of his lawsuits that are going on right now.
American influencers. What the fuck did you think was happening in Israel? It wasn't just Elon Levy, one of the shit-stains Destiny interviewed in his Israel adventures, who pushed the beheaded babies and other bullshit narratives. Hundreds of influencers posting round the clock. As I mentioned in my previous video, I heavily regret not documenting this period with extensive screenshots of all the Hasbro frauds and my efforts in exposing them. I recall that Hen Mazig was one. He's been posting pro-Israel propaganda all day.
Dude, Hen Mazig. Dude, it's Zionist Hassan, unironically. Bro, unironically, does everything possible to look like Hassan in order to spread a bunch of Hasbra, bro. Like, unironically, bro. It's really funny.
For years. Ella Keenan was another. She was the one who tried to smear me on LinkedIn, pretending to have been a viewer of mine who was disappointed with my anti-Semitism, the typical copy-paste script, which again, I should have documented. She flat out identifies as a digital marketing professional and content creator, spearheading a diplomacy impact effort, utilizing tens of thousands of social media users. In other words, since October 7th, she has been paid by Israel to organize and disseminate propaganda on social media full-time. She came up with the Hamas is ISIS bullshit that was blasted all over the internet and on my channel, since brand name recognition is important for getting Americans to...
Oh, I remember that fucking line of propaganda. That shit was so fucking dumb. It's like, yeah, man, Hamas is ISIS. Sure, dude. Like, let's just boil down every sort of, like, I don't know, group in the Middle East as being no different than ISIS. I don't know, man. Does Hamas have a bunch of beheading videos on Live Leak or something? I don't think so, guys.
To hate random brown people. Hear it from her if you like.
What we do is, let's call it digital assets that serve the Jewish people
Digital assets,
in a more strategic manner. We got to close to 3 billion views since the beginning of the war, completely organic. We work with communities of over 60,000 people around the world that make our content viral. But
wait, did she say communities of 60,000 people around the fucking world? Sure, buddy. I've seen a lot of these fucking Zionists post this fucking bullshit. It's not organic whatsoever. It's complete fucking bullshit. Yeah, man. I'm very certain that of the certainty, maybe not the certainty, of the validity of this organic claim.
Also help us report anti-Semitic rhetoric and fake news, and therefore take it down, and other actions that do serve the narrative. Israelis and Jews in general, we tend to respond rather than to set the agenda and initiate. You know, they say genocide, we explain why it's not a genocide. They say apartheid, we explain why it's not, right? So
I don't know, man. I mean, if you want to fucking keep lying about why it's not genocide or apartheid, you might want to take it up with the UN, Amnesty International, every other like humanitarian sort of like organization and group who has been constantly saying that, dude, this shit's it's all just genocide, guys. It just is.
I offered Hamas's ISIS, and I offered why, and I gave a short 101 on how we can garner attention and traction around that narrative, and that worked. So in 3 to 4 days, it became the most viewed narrative online. It became viral for almost 3 months around the world, in some places even more. And it even got to Biden's speech.
Again, this activity is a full-time job, which means they are paid for it. People don't do things full-time unless it earns them money. Israel has a lot of money, and they spend it on shit like this. And while the prominent, well-paid influencers orchestrated the propaganda, bot farms were also crucial in this endeavor.
But the most egregious part of Israel's online strategy is its use of fake bot accounts that spam pro-Israel comments and posts online. An investigation by the Al Jazeera Media Institute revealed hundreds of accounts created shortly after October 7th with around 50 to 100 followers pretending to be Arabs and constantly posting comments criticizing Palestinians, regional resistance groups, and Iran. These accounts would mainly target people.
I wonder why, you know, why they would be constantly, they'd want a bunch of quote-unquote Arab accounts criticizing the Palestinians. I wonder why Israel would want those types of people specifically. Interesting. Is Mamdani also from ISIS according to the logic of that loser? Knowing that individual, knowing Zionists, they would unironically make that argument, U235.
Pages that were popular in the Arab and Muslim world, like Al Jazeera and TRT. Their comments would mainly blame the Palestinians for the destruction they're facing and portray them as beggars who were ungrateful for the aid they were getting from other Arab countries. These accounts would also start dialogues with each other, where one fake account would post a comment and another fake account would respond, which indicates that—
Oh, this is very common even amongst MAGA bot farms. They do this shit all the fucking time, where the bot will just like reply to another bot, and then they have like a bot conversation, and it's like, it is one of the most like funniest things to have ever witnessed, like once in my life. Yeah. It's all dead internet theory. Thank you for the hyper commodification of the internet.
That they aren't individual accounts, but that they're part of an organized effort. No one took responsibility for this, but Israel has admitted to using bot farms in the past. During Israel's massacre against Gaza in 2021, the Israeli army used bots to promote a hashtag, Gaza Regrets, to try to rally support for Israel's war. And while the military admitted it was using fake accounts and even apologized for it, the Israeli government continues to employ people to defend Israel online and pledge to target teenagers in its next online campaign.
And yet, despite all of this effort, public opinion of Israel is so firmly in the fucking toilet that Israel has quintupled down on this strategy and has approved an astronomical record budget of $730 million for Hasbara in 2026.
Yeah, by the way, it's hey Israel, can we get a fucking listen? Pack watch, Rip Bozo, fuck you Israel. Your dumbass strategy isn't working. Everybody still fucking hates your goddamn guts. Haha, fuck you Israel. Yeah, fucking everyone get your pack watches out for Israel. Nice fucking money going down the drain for literally nothing for your dumb fuck propaganda in order to still have everyone look at you and just fucking hate your guts. Everyone fucking hates you. Fucking Pack watch, Rip Bozo, fuck you Israel, suck my dick, eat my shit, you're a stupid little bitch.
Nearly $1 billion courtesy of Havas Media Group to convince people on social media that Israel isn't doing genocide. So I'm sorry, Destiny, you're either lying about not getting a slice of that,
microwaving mice is wrong, they say.
So true.
Or you're a clueless asshat with no fucking idea what's happening, since Israel has been paying influencers unthinkable sums of money for many, many years.
I'm going to go with Yeah, I'm gonna go with clueless fucking moron because, yeah, Destiny's just doing this shit for free because, again, guess what? He just hates the left. I've talked about this before, but I'll mention it again. The only reason why Destiny is doing Hasbro for free is for one simple reason and one simple reason only. He's still mad about the fact that he was not able to monopolize all of Twitch poll around himself, and Hassan decided to fucking separate himself from Destiny. That's what Destiny's pissed about. That is why he's still mad about the fact that, or mad at lefties in general, because of the fact that, well, they don't really just they basically just don't fuck with him anymore, because of how much of like a ostensible little fucking freak that he is. Bro is just mad about the fact that he's isolated and alone with this like dumbass fucking orbit of absolute fucking losers. Because guess what? I'm gonna say this pretty simply. You have to be a fucking loser in order to be still orbiting around this sex pest, alleged fucking CSAM possessor.
You might just be the only moron shilling for Israel for free, purely despite Hassan, which is mind-blowing. Fucking hell, that was only the first 10 seconds. What could possibly be next? They watched their lands being usurped and given to settlers.
The bullshit map. The map! Not the map!
Not the map. Not the map that illustrates how well over...
I mean, this is literally just like how it's getting... This is how it's getting... The land is being taken away from Palestinians, Destiny. Yeah? This motherfucker pretends to care so much about, like, reading his dumb fuck Wikipedia articles, for example. Like, he'll read his Wikipedia articles and still basically not understand any of the fucking UN resolutions. Just fucking stupid, dude.
Half of Palestine...
Oh, and also, by the way, real quick, this motherfucker will like have read all this history, will have read about all the UN resolutions, and try to do the epic debunks of the lefties, and basically just like do a bunch of like Hasbro fucking talking points in order to basically just hand wave away all the fucking bullshit that Israel constantly is doing. And all of the rather, shall we say, unfair stipulations that have been constantly given to the fucking Palestinians throughout a lot of these proposals and resolutions, right? Like, again, the 1947 proposed borders, let's just go with that specifically. There's Overzealous' videos does a very, very good job talking about this. Most of the arable land that can be used to grow valuable crops for agriculture given over to the settlers, to the Zionists specifically. Most of the valuable land was also given over to them as well, which, and at this point in time, I believe, about, I think it was like 7%, not 7%. I think it was about like 15 to 20% of the population were Jews from specifically Europe. So there's that. Yet they were getting about like 50% of the land. I don't remember exactly how many it was under the Overzealous' video. I'll take a look at it and basically stick it in the description. And as a byproduct of that, wouldn't it make a lot of sense that the Palestinians and also the Arab states would not be particularly happy at all with like a partition like that, Destiny? But he doesn't like understand that for some reason. It's just very, very weird. Also, Kai of Proudly Radical did a whole essay and video of him reading it, going over the history of Palestine from the Middle Ages till now. That's true. That's true there, Fox of Fate.
Was taken to form Israel, and then most of what they were left with has been slowly stolen from them through settlements that are illegal under international law. How dare I use a map to illustrate apartheid and ethnic cleansing? Great rebuttal. Oh yeah.
Also, by the way, Destiny, you purport to be a liberal, yet you are in support of things for rather clear illiberal sort of states and clearly illiberal actions that those states are taking. Yet you pretend to be a liberal, Destiny. It's a little curious.
Yeah, I promised some other dirt on this guy. As if the genocide denial wasn't enough, here's a few other tips.
Oh, can we... Let's go.
Here he is advocating for white nationalists murdering BLM protesters.
Oh, yeah, the greatest hits. IMAX it up. Let's go.
Yes, the greatest hits, also known as a long list of absolutely heinous and disgusting shit you've said. Glad to see you're as amused by it as we are. And thus ends this stinger intro. Packed to the brim with ponage, as you can see. Yes, that really was all he could scrape together to front load this fight.
I'm gonna really say right now, Destiny, you're getting fucking worse in terms of, like, rebuttals in terms of the fucking stingers. Like, what rebuttal did he even offer here, dude? Like, you unironically said that you are okay with a bunch of redneck militia motherfuckers gunning down a bunch of protesters, because you're just like, the rioting needs to stop. And then you decide to have, like, a weird soyed out rage rant or something. Like, bro, you're a fucking freak, little bro. You know, this guy pretends to be the type of dude who really, really despises MAGA and right-leaning people, yet he always adopts their framing and a lot of their talking points consistently. I wonder why.
Fucking train wreck. But let's comb through the rest to really drive home how pathetic this was.
I think this guy got big mad that I called him anti-Semitic. Which, the video that he made criticizing the Avi Loeb dude, he absolutely was fucking weird as fuck.
No, my videos exposing Avi Loeb are not anti-Semitic. He's just on the anti-Zionism equals anti-Semitism train that I demolished in my video he's about to react to. So let's see how...
Which is, by the way, anti-Semitic right there of Destiny, unironically, because he's doing the whole conflation between Zionism and Judaism. Destiny, I don't know how many times this needs to be told to you and your collection of sycophantic fucking morons, but Zionism is an ethno-nationalist political ideology, whereas Judaism is a religious and a cultural affiliation. It is very important to make these constant distinctions, because to say that every single Jew is okay with the actions of Zionists, which Zionists consistently do for a lot of their propaganda in order to continue justifying their ethnic cleansing project, which every other, like, international human rights organization and monitor, and including rights organizations within Israel are also saying is constituting of genocide. So, like, again, I don't know why you're constantly fucking defending these actions, Destiny. It's just a little strange to me. Like, you purport to be a liberal, yet you seemingly want to support the most illiberal things on the planet. It's a little weird, bro. It's a little weird.
See how he handles that when he gets there. Whether he's being paid by Israel or is genuinely just dumb enough to have fallen for Israeli propaganda and is in too deep now to admit it, I can't say. But he recently decided to poke the hornet's nest by doing a particularly slanderous live stream about me, accusing me of being a Jew.
Slanderous?
Hating neo-Nazi. It's called Professor Dave Goes...
Okay, I don't think I ever accused him of being a neo-Nazi. I'm just pointing out that the rhetoric he's using is neo-Nazi rhetoric. The deception and self-victimization are like the two big tenets of, like, neo-Nazi criticism. But I don't think he's a neo-Nazi. I think he's a fucking tanky.
Well, I don't think he's a tanky, actually. He's just mind-fucked on Israel-Palestine.
Like, the entire fucking United States is, I guess, or the world is.
Oh, wait. Oh, the entire world is mind-fucked on Israel-Palestine? Buddy, have you unironically seen the TikTok videos of the IDF proudly just gallivanting about, being, like, wanton pillagers, marauders, and wannabe fucking rapists? To a population that never really fucking asked for it or did much of anything wrong. Again, to say that the entirety of the population of Gaza is equal to Hamas is fucking ridiculous and stupid, and another fucking Zionist talking point in order to justify genocide and ethnic cleansing. So, again, Destiny, I don't know what the fuck you're saying here, but you are just doing everything possible to look as much of, like, an illiberal nitwit as possible. And this motherfucker is supposed to be the liberal in terms of all of this stuff. It's a little interesting. Yet he's deciding to parrot all the illiberal nonsense that comes out of the mouth of what is generally considered the most illiberal state on the fucking planet that everybody hates for extremely good fucking reasons.
Tanky now. Yes, I'm constantly glazing Stalin, or whatever the fuck tanky even means. You really just talk completely out of your ass at all times, huh? Anyway, yeah, you said I used Nazi rhetoric, which is essentially calling me a Nazi, even though pointing out how Israel lies and plays the victim is just acknowledging reality like a fucking adult. And your thumbnail implied that I hate all Jews, which was kind of the main thing with the Nazis. So you were calling me a Nazi, which is slander, and that is why I decided to expose you as a worthless Zionist piece of shit. You brought this on yourself. Remember that.
Most of what you're hearing about Hamas is fabricated, and whatever isn't doesn't amount to 0.1% of what Israel has done in Palestine over the past 75 years. Get your priorities straight. They're under a military occupation. The radicalization is Israel's fault. Ha! Minimize non-combatant casualties? Holy fuck, you are naive. Israel routinely does what Hamas did. They did it today. Who's talking about it? Fucking nobody. Pre-planned evil.
Destiny's using the strawman voice. This is a legal rhetorical tactic. This was banned under the Debate Bro Geneva Convention of 1952.
They have a military occupation of Palestine. Just stop being ridiculous. This is October 10th. This guy is fucking on hand. I don't know how many fucking tweets I mark here. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is a section where he just reads old tweets of mine that Canary Mission captured in a cartoonish, angry voice and doesn't even attempt to respond to them. It's really pathetic. Israel does spread propaganda about Hamas. The few hundred people they killed on October 7th don't even remotely hold a candle to the tens of thousands Israel.
I wonder if Destiny does unironically believe that Hamas did behead 40 babies. Like, does he unironically believe that? When that was, like, proven, like, 7 different ways to Sunday wrong. And by the way, even the New York Times retracted that statement, and they also said that they got it wrong. So, I mean, are we just going to keep repeating this fucking talking point, this narrative, Destiny? I'm just saying.
Israel slaughtered prior, or the hundreds of thousands since. And they are indeed the product of an extended, brutal military occupation, which has specifically been funded and supported by Netanyahu since their inception. People who are brutally oppressed and subjugated for decades become radicalized against their...
Like, literally, Hamas was given fucking suitcases full of money through the Qataris, bro. Like, come on, Destiny. Destiny, you gotta keep up, buddy.
Oppressors. It's not that weird. Then for the next one, it's obviously me pushing back on some paid Hasbara operative lying to the whole internet about how Israel does everything it can to minimize civilian casualties, when in fact Israel specifically targets civilians at all times. This was during the first blatant carpet bombing campaign early in the genocide, when they were just destroying entire city blocks with zero regard for who they killed, because I already knew back then that this was what they had in...
Which, by the way, quick reminder, Biden unironically stopped sending shipments of 2,000-pound bombs to Israel because of the fact that they were stipulating that they were going to target civilians. So, Destiny, I have to ask this question. Do you want civilians to be targeted for some reason, little bro? It's a little weird, man. A little weird.
In mind, which is easily confirmed by looking at the sea of rubble that is Gaza today. Glad to see that Destiny has intelligent responses to these obvious facts and isn't just humiliating himself with empty pageantry. But as long as we're looking at old tweets, since he seems to think that mine are so unhinged and indefensible, maybe we should play a quick round of Defend That Tweet, don't you think? I just defended these two quite easily, now it's Destiny's turn. Okay, so this user named Babygirl said to Steven, ignoring a safe word and not stopping...
Yep. Guess what? Because we all know Destiny is a rapist. He is a sexual assaulter very often. Yeah, this was someone saying, hey, I'm accusing Destiny of sexual assault and rape, and he decides to clap back by saying, fucking go kill yourself. Yeah, that was the rebuttal there by specifically Destiny. So, Destiny, are you going to defend any of these old actions of yours? I'm just saying.
When someone asks is ignoring consent and is rape. Go fuck yourself. Wow, it sounds like Destiny was implying that if you're having sex with someone and they ask you to stop, you totally don't have to, and it's not rape to continue fucking them while they scream no repeatedly. That's pretty messed up, but hang on, maybe she misunderstood him. I bet he's gonna reply and clear everything up. Kill yourself, you fucking cunt. I hope you get raped with a fucking shovel until you bleed out your fucking vag and die holy. Wow, Steven, that's pretty graphic and uncalled for, but since I had a chance to explain my tweets that you mocked without actually saying anything, it's only fair that we give you the same chance. So, Steven, defend that tweet!
I like this game.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steven, that's not gonna cut it. I guess your tweet is just totally fucking indefensible, and you're a disgusting monster with zero regard for female bodily autonomy, huh? I guess scrolling through old tweets of mine wasn't such a great idea, now was it? Let's get back to the video, big guy. A fabrication of 40 beheaded babies, which Joe Biden...
Like, again, I really just don't understand why the fuck that Destiny decides to go over old tweets of people when it's just like, buddy, I mean, if we want to do the whole dig up old tweet game, like, I guarantee you that you have significantly worse. If we want to just dig up old fucking goddamn shit on you, Destiny, it's very, very easy to do that and to make yourself look as stupid and ridiculous as possible. Like, why did you think that this was a good rhetorical tactic or a good idea in general? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. What was the point of this? What was the advantage of this? Very strange.
Publicly claimed to have seen photographs.
He said he saw photographs of beheaded babies. He shouldn't have said this. I don't know where. He might have actually seen it though. But this claim was not originated by Israel. It was some. I think it was a. Somebody said Channel 4. Is that a French outlet that fucked up and spread this claim? But
maybe he saw them. No, he didn't because it doesn't exist. You're simultaneously admitting that this wasn't true and then speculating as to whether Biden actually saw it. What? Biden said it because Bibi asked him to. It's clear as fucking day. Destiny is pretending that some French news network made up this claim. It was being pushed by every single Israeli official and Hasbara influencer on the fucking.
Yeah. So which means, but yeah. Also, Channel 4 is not French. Channel 4, I believe, is British. If I recall, U235, right? They are British, I think. So he's wrong there, obviously, because Destiny does not know what he's ever talking about. Yeah, I think they're British as well. I'm pretty sure they're British. I believe the French outlet specifically that Destiny might be thinking about, I think is Channel 24? I think it's Channel 24. We've seen a couple of their reports before. So I think it's Channel 24 that he's confusing. France 24. There we go. France 24. I knew there was a 24 in there somewhere. I knew that for certain. I just wasn't sure if it was like Canal 24. That's channel in Romanian. Whatever. That's besides the point. So maybe that's where he got that France there specifically. So maybe? I don't know. Who really knows? I mean, it just really shows us how out of depth Destiny is in terms of covering like political topics. Like he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about half the time. Why? Because, dude, we got to do our Hasbara for Israel for free out of spite for lefties, dude. Yo, we got to do our spite, our spite Hasbara.
Internet. The iOS.
And yes, again, like the 40 beheaded babies was literally being pushed by everybody. It was being pushed initially by all the Zionist accounts, and then it got pushed by American media. And guess what? American media started retracting that. Not the Zionists, though. They still unironically believed that shit.
Conjured it out of thin air. It spread to journalists. It was confirmed by an Israeli spokesperson and then echoed by the fucking president of the United States. The president told Americans he saw pictures of 40 beheaded babies because Bibi told him to say it to help manufacture consent for genocide. This is not a little...
And as we all know, Biden was a real big simp to Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oopsie. This is manifesting anti-Arab sentiment to greenlight the slaughtering of Palestinians. Later, he admitted he didn't actually see it, since nobody was going to let that shit slide, but the damage of the initial claim had been done. This is how propaganda works. Anyone diminishing this should not be taken seriously ever. Endless claims of rape when in fact it is Israel that systematically rapes Palestinian prisoners in the most brutal manner imaginable.
People don't talk about it much because nobody pushes these people because nobody actually cares. Also, I don't know why they say... I know why. It's not 75 years of occupation. It would be like 60 years, but whatever. People say that... fuck, I just might fuck myself. Oh, they don't believe that any rapes happened on October 7th. Or if they did, it was like one or two bad apples. All of them are consistent on this position. There's never...
No. No one has... Wait, who has ever said that besides probably, like, the most mentally ill of fucking tankies? The position, and this is my position, I've been consistent on this, and that is in line with what the UN is saying, right? And I believe Hassan has also said this as well. The UN has gathered corroborated evidence... corroborated evidence to suggest that, yes, that Hamas probably did rape people on October 7th. Now, you may be wondering, why is there no concrete evidence? It's because of Israel. Because of the fact that the Zaka brigades, which I believe are the medical brigades within the Israeli military, or they're like a bunch of first responder brigades, they went in there to try to clean up the mess of October 7th. It turns out a lot of the evidence that the UN might have needed in order to do their investigation to take a look into the potential systematic rapes, because that's what Israel was claiming was happening, that a bunch of systematic rapes were happening during October 7th. The UN obviously said they wanted to investigate that in order to corroborate that claim, because that would be a crime against humanity, and there could be ICC warrants issued for a bunch of the people, the leadership within Hamas. Because again, if it's a systematic bunch of rapes that have happened during October 7th, that means that those rapes were premeditated and being planned out. That part of the point of the attacks on October 7th was to rape a bunch of Israeli citizens, which we have no evidence for whatsoever. None. So that was the claim that specifically the UN wanted to check. However, a lot of the evidence to try to indicate that if that was the case or not got contaminated by the Zaka brigades. And here's the real fucking kicker. Israel did everything possible in order to disrupt the UN from being able to properly conduct its investigation of the systematic rapes happening during October 7th. Now you have to ask yourself this question. Why would Israel be systematically, not systematically, but would be disrupting the UN's investigation in the systematic rapes that Israel is claiming happened on October 7th? Why is that? Why is that?
We're really pushing it much.
What? I just brought up Israel's track record of persistent systematic sexual abuse as a method of torture. He made no comment on that, said that many people pushed back on the allegations of rape on October 7th, and then neither refuted that position nor condemned Israel's obsession with raping people. What a farce. A behind-the-scenes clip of a Lebanese...
By the way, Destiny, real quick, there are unironic pro-rape rallies that happen within Israel. Let's not forget that that's the case.
short film used to claim that Palestinians were faking the war crimes against them, yielding the birth of the disgusting term Pallywood. Claims of immense networks of Hamas bases underneath hospitals to justify the bombing of every single hospital in Gaza, only to provide zero evidence of such bases after the fact, except a few planted guns.
Everybody acknowledges this. Even Amnesty International. Everybody acknowledges that these are bases that are used or co-opted. Like Amnesty International in 2014 did big reports on Al-Shifa Hospital, for instance, being used by Hamas for torturing people and as a base of operations. And there's like tunnels underneath. It was a huge blow to UNRWA's credibility when they discovered another big like underground thing that was right next to like the entrance of the hospital in such a way that they obviously knew they were operating there. But
everybody acknowledges this. That's funny because no, they fucking don't. Especially.
I was about to say, didn't Amnesty International unironically push back against Israel's claims, saying that there were Hamas bases under Al-Shifa Hospital? I believe also the UN said that that's also a lie there specifically by Israel. So, like, why you keep constantly repeating a bunch of Israel's lies there, Destiny? Yeah, that's a little curious.
Actually Amnesty International, who said the precise opposite of what you just claimed. You blew right past the ridiculous CGI video I showed of an incredibly elaborate system of tunnels and rooms filled with weapons and whatnot, as well
which was made by Israel, by the way. And fun fact, in terms of the tunnel network that Hamas uses under Gaza, guess who also, well, made those systems of tunnels? Oh, it was Israel who made those systems of tunnels.
Israel's pathetic attempt to substantiate this claim upon raiding Al-Shifa. They could have filmed their entry live on body cams and shown everyone this elaborate terrorist base. No, instead they delayed for the better part of a day, and when they finally showed everyone what was inside, it was just a few guns they planted next to an MRI machine and a list of terrorists that was really a calendar. That's all. They released a video showing a tunnel and 2 small rooms, which could have been fucking anything. Zero evidence of terrorist activity. Amnesty International, along with anyone else possessing a fully functional brain, specifically said that they have seen no credible evidence to support the claim that Al-Shifa housed a military command center. The New York Times said the same, despite often shilling for Israel. Lies are all you have, Stephen. Several hours after entering, and a list of terrorists that was really a calendar. A tidal wave of lies in the form of social media activity that was viewed by many millions of people. Endless dehumanizing rhetoric to garner.
People say this. Where the fuck was the mountain of Israeli propaganda after October 7th? It was exclusively pally slop. You can tell this too because these.
What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking schizophrenic? The fuck is pally slop? Hello? Destiny, did you just not open Twitter that fucking day? What the fuck are you talking about, you mentally ill fucking schizophrenic? Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, it was all pally slop during October 7th. I don't know, people talking about how a bunch of innocent children were getting fucking bombed. What the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid fucking moron? Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, Destiny. Like, I knew that you have, shall we say, in a metaphorical sense, fallen quite far, but I didn't think it would be this bad. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, he just hates humanity, Boy Meets Minnie. I can't really disagree with that. Like, this is just the dude who, unironically, if the claim goes against humanity, Destiny will definitely fucking defend that shit if it means spiting the fucking left. Genuinely pathetic behavior here by this fucking freak.
These people, by the way, today, people like Professor Dave or Hassan will still tell you that big hospital bombing on like the 13th or whatever, that was an Israeli JDAM that hit a hospital and killed 500 people. It was like a Palestinian Islamic Jihad like rocket misfire that maybe I think like hurt like 30 or 40 people or whatever.
So again, that's a lie there by Destiny. Bro, there's literally the fucking video for that shit where again we see Israel bombing the fucking hospital. We have the video for that. So, what, like, why would you just lie blatantly like this? It's incredible.
Like, it was not a fucking missile.
What the fuck are you rambling about? Israel has bombed every single hospital in Gaza. 90% are completely non-operational. Just a couple are operating with highly limited capacity. This moron is whining about who bombed one of the hospitals, as if to say that Israel doesn't bomb hospitals. They've bombed every single hospital in Gaza. Every single one. They also specifically targeted and slaughtered doctors. Pally slop my ass. You know, horrible, vile anti-Semites like Miss Rachel, the children's content creator, who scandalously requested on social media that Israel stop bombing children.
Also, real quick, just to talk about the relentless bombing of doctors. Another thing that Israel got a lot of fucking shit for early on during the war was they went into a hospital disguised as a bunch of doctors in order to be able to try to get an assassination on, I think, some Hamas leader. It was either like some higher up in Hamas or some other some militant or something that was in a hospital. And it should be extremely obvious why. That is a big fucking no-no. That is a massive, massive fucking no-no there. Because guess what? If in war you decide to disguise yourself as medical staff, or say journalists or whatever, what does the other side think of that? They're going to think like, we can't trust any journalists. We cannot trust any medical personnel who may be just trying to heal people working for credible human rights organizations, we have to inherently distrust all of them and shoot them because we don't know if it's Israeli fucking commandos in disguise, which is why it is a massive, massive no-no to essentially just have a bunch of soldiers disguising themselves as doctors.
And who can be found singing songs with Palestinian double amputee toddlers. How dare she humanize children who have had their legs children, and who can be found singing songs with Palestinian double amputee toddlers. How dare she humanize children who have had their legs blown off by inhuman monsters. As part of these smear attempts, founder of Stop Antisemitism, Leora Rez, and other wastes of human life. I'm explaining how Ms. Rachel qualified as anti-Semite of the week for requesting that Israel stop bombing children and singing songs with Palestinian double amputee toddlers. His response is to smile like a creep and mutter dude under his breath or whatever the fuck he said. This is the whole video. We're going to talk a lot about how awful Israel is. Truly, they are the most potent force of pure evil in the world since the Nazis.
Jesus Christ!
The less that Destiny has to say, the higher in pitch he goes. Yes, the Nazis exterminated Jews, and Zionists exterminate Palestinians. The disregard for human life is identical. Shouting Jesus Christ...
I'm going to tell you right now, the logic that a lot of Zionists also use is the same of that of the fucking Nazis. It's no fucking different. Destiny, unironically, guess what? The current prime minister of Israel does Holocaust revisionism. Holocaust revisionism. And this is the dude where you're just saying like, oh, Jesus Christ, dude, I can't believe that you're calling the obvious dudes who are using Nazi rhetoric and saying a bunch of like Nazi-esque propaganda are being compared to Nazis. Oh, I can't believe that people are doing that, dude.
Sarcastically is not a refutation of this obvious fact.
A lot of these things are like half-truths or like crazy people. I think that Yoav Gallant thing, I think I've looked it up before. I think he was explicitly referring to Hamas when they were going into the fight, though. This was said, like, I think within a week or two, I think after the war began, because I think that quote made it into the South African case that they brought against Israel for the genocide prevention stuff. And I feel like I looked into this other quote, and I think a few of them that they'll say they're talking about all Palestinians, but they're referring to Hamas.
Nope, they're talking
about
Palestinians.
No, they were talking about
always.
Palestinians.
I showed so many clips and statements where genocidal intent towards all Palestinians is explicitly expressed.
Like, by the way, all you have to do is you just have to listen to, like, 5 minutes of Itamar Ben-Gvir talking. And by the way, there's like a very famous instance, for a lack of a better term. Famous? Infamous? Let's go with infamous. Instance right now of like Itamar Ben-Gvir. There's like a specific tweet that he made about like weeping Lebanese mothers, where he was being explicitly intentional with a lot of his fucking genocidal language. And everyone was like doing memes of basically saying like, oh, when you hit translate on an Israeli tweet and you discover a new chapter of Mein Kampf, like unironically, dude.
Is not an argument. Pretty fucked up, huh? A chuckle and a grin is your response to Israeli Karens chanting about wanting to burn villages down while jazzercising or whatever the fuck this is. Great contribution.
A lawmaker from the far-right Otzma Yehudit party told the Knesset on Wednesday that there are no innocent civilians, no innocent children in Jenin, I think they might call this.
Jenin.
Okay, so that's a fairly unhinged quote, but like this is like this Jenin is known as a place that you shouldn't go because you'll probably get fucking killed.
So, by the way, I believe this was one of the when I did my initial taking a look into Destiny's reaction to the Professor Dave video, because he obviously reacted to this same day, of course. Dog, you're parroting a bunch of far-right talking points, right? And you purport to be a liberal. It's very interesting that you purport to be a liberal and you're fucking parroting all of these exact same far-right talking points of all of these like Israeli politicians, far-right politicians, being rather explicit in terms of their genocidal intent. Destiny, I thought you were a liberal, little bro. What happened?
Killed. Like even our Palestinian tour guide that was willing to take us to Nablus wouldn't take us to Jenin. That's like, I'm not saying.
Quick reminder: the Palestinian tour guide that that Destiny had was some half Israeli, half Palestinian nitwit known as Nas Daily, who does what exactly? Oh, posts a bunch of fucking Hasbara every single day on his fucking social media platforms.
Saying that that's an acceptable quote, but that's like I think a seed is like one of the most like you're gonna get fucking rocked if you go to this place.
Right. It's bad to say that children aren't innocent, but this is a super bad place, so it's okay to say it about that place.
Which
murdering
means,
children in that specific town is therefore more defensible. Are you listening to this douchebag? Revital Gottlieb of the Likud party says, "Bring down buildings, bomb without distinction, stop with this impotence."
Like I would never defend the crazy. There are some fucking insane Israelis, like there are, but You can find them saying insane stuff all the time. It's really weird to come down on somebody saying insane shit, like, on October 7th, though.
It doesn't matter what the date is. Genocide...
Yeah, it doesn't matter if, like, bro, Destiny, they were saying all this stuff consistently before October 7th. It doesn't fucking matter. It's just the society. It is just Israel. Israel is just fucking evil, little bro. Like, listen, I don't like to do the whole sort of, like, ontologically evil memes about as much as the next guy. Because, yes, I do agree, it's rather fucking reductive, but I don't know, man. I think for Israel, it kind of fucking applies.
Intent is genocidal intent, and you are indeed defending it. And they say this shit all the time. Before October 7th and after it too. Countless such statements in this video that you blow right past without acknowledging.
Destiny, why don't you just debate Dave? Dave will never talk about the subject. The pro-pallies have to remain as isolated as possible on this topic because they know nothing about the region, they know nothing about the history, and they have no prescriptions of what to do in this place.
Fucking says Destiny, who unironically just reads a whole bunch of fucking Wikipedia articles and pretends to be extremely based and very, very knowledgeable on this fucking topic when he unironically reads a bunch of Wikipedia articles, did his fucking paid propaganda trip to Israel where he still barely understood any of the fucking positions and sort of like history about what happened in fucking Palestine. Yeah, sure, dude. The pro-pallies don't want to fucking debate you on this. More like they don't want to debate you on this because there is no point in debating someone like yourself who had a paid propaganda trip to fucking Israel and just does Hasbro for free, seemingly. All out of spite for the left.
No, I won't talk to you about this because you're a worthless genocide-denying propaganda peddler who will just motormouth a meth-fueled, gish-galloped avalanche of lies and unrelated minutia to deflect from the very obvious genocide you deny. There's no point. I know plenty about the region and its history. That's how I know about the decades of occupation and apartheid that this genocide is a continuation of. That's how I knew on October 7th that it was the beginning of ethnic cleansing and land acquisition, not a war against terrorists.
Also, it doesn't matter because you can guess what? You can just like literally, like, you don't even need to know that much about the fucking history of the region. It helps to know the history of the fucking region, but you don't need to know much about the history of the region. All you have to do is open your eyes and open up fucking TikTok during the periods of like 2023 to 2024, or in 2022 to 2022 to 2023. That's it. That's all you have to fucking do. Is you just open up social media during that fucking time period. Oh wait, no, 2023 to 2024. I know I'm fucking having problems with my years here. All you have to do is open up TikTok during that time, and Israel and the Israelis made it extremely clear what the intention behind their actions were. It really does not take that much.
That's why I was booted from Twitter. And sorry, no prescription? You mean like I don't know what should be done in the region? Just like all these idiot trolls shout at anyone who exposes Israel's genocide? Of course I do. Everyone with a brain and a conscience knows. Dismantle the state of Israel. Remove all Zionists from any position of power. Call the region Palestine, and everyone there can live under a new governing body with equal rights. And...
yeah, sure. I mean, that's one plan. That can certainly work. Here, how about my fucking plan, which I think is maybe not realistic, but is more plausible. A world coalition under the UN occupying the fucking country and forcing integration for at least 2 generations, if not longer. And what I am basically referring to here is racial integration in schools during 1953, I believe. 1953, if I recall correctly, when there was racial integration happening in the schools across the South. And unironically, the 101st Airborne going to Alabama, random example here, in order to force school kids, black school kids and white school kids, to get along. Same thing has to be done with Israel. There has to be an occupation of the entire fucking country and a forced integration of both Palestinians and Israelis in the country, because otherwise the same problems and the same issues are going to keep flaring up over and over and over again. And I'm saying that this has to be a worldwide coalition. Everybody has to be in on it. Period. End of story. And I would also say that everyone needs to contribute troops to this as well. No matter how big or how small the fucking army is. Every country in the world, because it needs to be made extremely clear that this should not be tolerated under any fucking circumstance by the whole of the world. But that's never going to happen because of the United States of America.
apartheid. End occupation. It's not that fucking hard to wrap your head around. Too bad having a brain and a conscience doesn't come along with the political power to do anything about it, right, dumbass? Israeli politician Moshe Feiglin states outright that Hamas is not the enemy. It's every child in Gaza. Every child. Toddlers. Babies. Babies are terrorists. Anyone who would say this is a sadistic monster.
Who said that? Who says that? Who's the famous baby settler guy?
Who's the famous baby settler guy? I'm showing bloody children, which are the reason my video was...
And bro, he literally said who the fucking goddamn politician was, Stephen. Do you have ears? Are you capable of paying attention? Like... Okay, dude. Nice meme.
Demonetized, despite his idiot troll army insisting I was lying about that, along with statement after statement demonstrating genocidal intent towards all Palestinians, including children, and his response is to bring up some random thing that Hassan Piker said once that his camp will forever quote out of context to demonize him. Who takes this douchebag seriously? He is deflecting from Israel, explicitly stating that they want to murder children, and images of...
let me tell you who the people are that take Destiny seriously. Extremely fucking big weirdos who, I don't know, will have like, I don't know, like a bunch of like weird, ugly trolls, incels, people who have restraining orders against them, and also a bunch of like grifting, LARPing fucking morons who just want to basically be lazy and make a quick, easy buck.
Injured children as a stand-in for videos of murdered children I couldn't show without risking my entire channel being deactivated. Again, archivegenocide.com exists for anyone with the courage to see for themselves what's been going on in Gaza. Children are being murdered, and Destiny's response is to lie about Hassan Piker. Astounding. They openly announced that they intend to commit genocide. Not just random nutjobs on social media. Israeli officials, legislators, military personnel, decision makers. They all state this openly. The desire to completely wipe out the Palestinian population. Take a second and read this crap. This is a drop in the bucket. You listen to any of these assholes for long enough, you get some shit like this about human animals, or Amalek, who their God commanded them to destroy in the Torah. Stevie, I was telling you, specifically, to pause and read those statements. That's the very clear genocidal intent you're pretending was limited to October 7th and excusing like
he's
a
not
lunatic.
going to do that.
This is me proving you wrong. You're watching it and saying nothing because you have nothing to say, because you know it's genocide. They proudly announce genocidal intent and then later deny the actualization of that intent when accused of the genocide they are committing, gaslighting the world with rhetoric about how the IOF is the most moral army in the world, rather than the reality
gaslight the world, true.
that they are actual terrorists. Yes, I explained how Israel gaslights everyone.
Bro, he just has nothing, dude. That's incredible to me. God, holy shit. Dude, listen, Destiny, I thought you were some fucking debate king. What? Dave is clearly putting out a position. He's saying a point. Retort. Have a rebuttal. Debate. Talk about it. But you're not doing that, Destiny. I wonder why.
And his response is to sarcastically repeat what I said. And this dumbass wants to debate people?
Do you like Palestinian children?
Yes.
Does it make you feel good when you in the hospital? Really?
Yes.
You guys children.
What are these videos?
What are these videos? These are videos of Israeli soldiers admitting to murdering children. You're laughing.
By the way, I believe this is a thing that I think there's I don't know the name of the content creators, but there's like I think there's a particular Palestinian content creator who will just go on Omegle and just talk with a bunch of people in Israel to just basically expose how big of genocidal freaks these people are.
Like a lunatic and saying nothing. Do you condemn Israeli soldiers deliberately murdering children? This would be a good time to go on the record stating that you condemn Israeli soldiers deliberately murdering children. No? Just gonna breeze right past that? Got it.
How many Palestinians have you killed?
20.
Uh-huh. Is this like real life?
I don't know what is Palestinians. I know Hamas. In Gaza, there is not civilians.
In Gaza?
All Hamas. Terrorists.
In Gaza, there's no civilians, they're all Hamas? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 1 million kids in Gaza, they're Hamas?
By the way, this is the exact same dehumanizing propaganda that's been put out consistently by Benjamin Netanyahu. Again, clear genocidal intent.
Yeah.
What kind?
Oh god, and he's got this fucking lunatic on, of course.
Hello.
How are you?
I can't believe how much you guys included laundered this fucking lunatic's reputation here. Oh.
Yeah.
Bro, why the fuck are you complaining about Bassem Youssef? What? In what way is he a lunatic? What, are you just mad about the fact that he thinks that genocide's kind of bad, Steven? Which you seem to be perfectly okay with defending constantly? It's a little interesting.
Destiny couldn't believe that the videos I showed were real, so he went to look for more on his own. He found one where a soldier explicitly states that all 1 million children in Gaza are terrorists, and therefore are fair game to be killed. Instead of condemning that, his response is to switch to another video and whine about how much he hates Bassem Youssef, since he speaks out against genocide. Steven, you really should have watched my video in advance and planned out what to say, because this is really exposing you quite badly. Countless children in Gaza have been targeted and executed by snipers. There are so many accounts from both local and international doctors who received child after child with a single precise bullet wound to the head. Again, soldiers state outright that they intentionally murder children, and that they're specifically ordered to do it, while officials continue to put on a show and act offended when it is suggested that soldiers do the things they openly admit they are doing. This is the definition of gaslighting. And how do Israeli soldiers and officials justify this grotesque behavior? Naturally, they have divine permission for it. They state this openly all the time as well. They are the chosen people, so they can do whatever they want. They say Israel is allowed to ignore the directives of international law in any field it desires. Yes, I explained how Israeli snipers shoot children in the head.
by the way, this is like the whole when everyone does the whole sort of meme of just like saying that, oh, this land was promised to me like 3,500 years ago. This is what they're referring to, Destiny.
No response from him. Then I pivot into the chosen people rhetoric that they use to justify committing genocide. That got a chuckle out of him and nothing more, since this specifically dismantles any attempt at demonizing people for pointing out the chosen people rhetoric that they objectively do use.
What would it take to change your opinion on this? I don't know. It's difficult to engage with questions that are that fucking retarded. For the people that are saying unhinged, insane shit in Israel, these are bad statements. They're horrible. But it's even worse when you just show one side and you pretend like it's only one-sided. You're disqualified from the conversation. You shouldn't even have an opinion on it. You're fucking retarded.
It is one-sided.
This is one-sided, you fucking dumbass. Hello? Okay, dude.
You dumb piece of shit. Israel and Palestine aren't genociding each other. Israel is committing genocide, and Palestinians are the victims of genocide. One is a belligerent nuclear superpower carpet bombing and starving an entire region. The other is the helpless prisoner population that is the victim of that activity. It is entirely one-sided, and anyone who pretends otherwise is a fucking moron. The worst pro-Israel propaganda attempts to paint all Arabs as terrorists that need to be obliterated, but the far more damaging propaganda is that of the liberal Zionist that attempts to paint the conflict like a pair of quarreling siblings, and if only they could just put down their weapons and get along. That's way more damaging because it whitewashes genocide, and some people fall for it, which prevents a unified opposition to Israel. That's Destiny's bag. They fell for precisely the same dehumanizing rhetoric that led to the Holocaust. If you support Israel, you are a Nazi. There is no meaningful distinction between support for Israel today and support for Nazi Germany in the 1930s and 40s. Given the age we live in, the horror show that...
Like, really?
Yes, really.
Yes,
well, I'm going
really.
to show you to the best of my extremely limited ability what is happening. This video almost certainly will not be monetized. I'm fully aware of that and I don't care. But I can't show you the true extent of the carnage, as that would violate YouTube's community guidelines, and my channel could get deactivated from a single violation that took place in this boring out of their app. Haunts me every time the countless bodies dirt bulldozed on top of them. Did you see that?
Man,
I
you
didn't
just
chop
skipped
that
through a
up.
bunch
That
of
was
stuff?
Destiny deliberately skipping ahead through the section that I knew would demonetize my video. The part where I showed all the bloody crying children. He can't bear to look at it, and he can't risk his audience seeing it, because this is the easiest way to know who is the villain here. The only way he can continue shilling for Israel is by convincing himself that none of this is real. These children aren't real. So when I show them to him, he gets really uncomfortable. So
well, I don't listen. I don't know, there, Dave. Have you ever considered that maybe, just maybe, you know, Destiny's perfectly okay with the murder of all these children? I'm just saying. I mean, considering the fact that Destiny may have been a possessor of some rather interesting material on fucking minors, I'm just saying. It seems like Destiny's the type of dude who doesn't really like children all that much.
Uncomfortable that he has to make it stop by skipping ahead. This is how we know he's defending an indefensible position, either for money or personal reasons. The complete lack of empathy. There is no
Mostly
chiming in to say,
reasons.
yeah, that's fucked up. Holy shit, look at these poor children with their limbs blown off, starving to death. Hey, let's check out this archive so we can educate ourselves about Israel's atrocities. Nothing, because it can't be real. He can't give more than an inch or two because he is maintaining an indefensible position that genocide isn't happening. And that brings us to the main point of this video. Dickheads like Destiny deny the fact that Israel is committing genocide. This is beyond comprehension. Any honest person with the courage to look can instantly see what has been going on in Gaza for nearly 3 years now.
So courageous to join literally the most popular political movement on time or online in the history of all the fucking world, which is Israel bad, Jew bad, and Palestine innocent and need to be protected.
This is such a fucking reductive way of looking at this. Yeah, man, that's basically what everyone is saying. Not just like lefties or whatever the fuck, but liberals, anyone with social media, anyone who fucking looks at TikTok. Destiny, do you even know why the Ellisons took over TikTok from the beginning, bro? It's to basically disrupt all of the attempts at being able to have some form of organization around the actions of Israel, bro. Like, that's literally the point of this, dude. Is Destiny going to be purposely obtuse about this for no reason, all because he just wants to get, like, I don't know, his spike bucks for Israel or something? I think he's just going to be purposely obtuse about it so he can get his spike bucks for Israel. Very, very fucking disgusting Weasley behavior here from this unironic fucking, like, psychotic little freak.
And, you know, get rid of AIPAC. What a brave position that is. Oh, my goodness.
I said the courage to look, Stephen, the courage to look at the victims of genocide. And just 30 seconds ago, you demonstrated that you don't have the courage to look. You skipped ahead while I showed you the victims of genocide because you're a spineless little bitch and you know it. So you make no attempt to acknowledge the genocide I reminded you that you're denying, and you immediately reframe advocacy for the victims of genocide as some woke internet trend, which entails hating all Jews. Even though no, it fucking doesn't, since a huge fraction of Jews are anti-Zionist activists. How shameful. I'm so glad you've given me this opportunity to show even more people what a worthless piece of shit you are.
And it's not even a question of what are the facts. It's a question of, like, the most annoying thing too is the question of, like, would you consider it a genocide? It's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine, like, a genocide where if one side surrenders, like, everything stops. Like, that's kind of hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine a genocide where the side being genocided, like, actively is continuing to hold hostages against the other side and refuses to release them for some reason.
Oh, of course. The Palestinians should have surrendered. All the tens of thousands of children who have been slaughtered.
Yeah, I don't even know what fucking point that Destiny is essentially saying here is. Like, what Destiny... Do you know about any of the dynamics of the fucking quote-unquote conflict that were happening at this point in time? Hamas unironically offered to immediately release the hostages that they took on October 7th in exchange of Israel not invading Gaza. Hamas said, we will give back all the hostages if you guys just do not invade. But guess what Israel did? Oh, they invaded, Steven. Okay, dude.
Slaughtered should have waved a little white flag, and then they wouldn't have been buried under rubble as Israel destroys Gaza to make room for luxury high-rises. If only Palestinians would stop all of the literally zero killing of Israelis after October 7th, while Israel slaughtered dozens or even hundreds per day. And why did they have those hostages? Gee, were they being used to bargain for the release of Palestinian prisoners that are perpetually held by the thousands without cause? Do you have any issue with Israel holding thousands of people prisoner for no reason, including children, while raping and torturing them? Or is it just when Israelis are held hostage and treated like fucking royalty as their own government carpet bombs and kills them since they have no regard for the lives of their...
Yeah, it's also true, Alex. Like, there are also no hostages left for them to give back. So every single time that Israel talks about, or whatever Hasbra fucking dumbfuck talks about, well, you know, the Palestinians, the Hamas are still holding a bunch of hostages. So that's why we have to keep bombing the fuck out of them. That's a lie. That's just a fucking lie. Maybe, just some food for thought here, Israel, okay? Maybe if you stopped bombing them and you stopped bombing the hostages that you were also trying to rescue, because that was also happening during October 7th. Let's not forget about that as well. Maybe then you would have been able to get all of the hostages that you wanted to get back, and that the fact that there would be more not more hostages to get back, instead of, like, I don't know, random bloody smears from your fucking bombing campaigns. Maybe if you just did not invade Gaza from the beginning, like Hamas offered, or basically said, don't do this, and we'll just give you back all the hostages. Maybe if you just didn't bomb first and then ask questions later, you would have gotten all of your fucking hostages back, and then there would have been, there would not have been any fucking conflict as a byproduct. You know, it's just some food for thought. It's almost as if, again, Israel just wanted the fucking ethnic cleansing. That's what they wanted out of all of this.
Their citizens. What a fucking moron.
The most difficult question that these people have, that I've never heard a good answer to, and there's a lot of them they can ask, is like, what's the difference between like a bad one-sided war, or just like a really violent war, and a genocide? Like, I don't know what the difference is, and I've never heard them actually enunciate a difference there. What is the difference between like a bad war, one-sided war, versus...
I mean, Professor Dave already outlined what the difference is, and that is the intent to do ethnic cleansing for the express purpose of gaining more fucking territory. Israel has made it very clear that that's what they want to do. Yeah, that's why people say it's genocide. Yeah. And the consistent talks about, like, ethnic cleansing and wanting to move around a bunch of people in order to be able to get more land for themselves. That's why. I don't know. It's pretty simple.
Versus like a genocide.
A war would be when two militaries fight and kill each other. So a one-sided war would be one military killing way more soldiers than the other. A genocide would be when a nuclear superpower carpet bombs a prisoner population with the specific intent to murder civilians and demolish all of the infrastructure in the region, and then starves the rest of them while they're huddled trembling in refugee camps. All set, champ?
If the mindset is like all these fuck-ups are intentional, and they're just trying to murder as many civilians, not as they can, but as many as they can get away with, even though they're clearly not getting away with it, but I don't know why they won't murder more or whatever. Like, it's kind of it's a conversation non-starter. Like, how do you make peace with a group?
No, because they just want to keep just murdering people in order to get the territory for themselves. Destiny. That's the point. Okay, whatever.
But people that you think is literally trying to genocide the other side. Like, it's stupid as fuck. You can't, like, and then these same guys who will say, well, 90% of Israel is on board with this, and all of them are brainwashed to want to genocide the other side, and we can't even accept a two-state solution anymore because that's apartheid, so we're going to do a one-state solution, but somehow all these people are going to live in peace with each other? What the fuck? I don't know.
Oh, you're right. If we force Israel to stop doing genocide, and we dissolve the state of Israel, then they're all going to fight and bicker a lot. So we should just let Israel continue to do genocide and take over the entire Middle East. Great thinking, dumbass. I have an idea. How about if America steps up
and literally just keep the fighting and the bickering going on, whether Destiny fucking likes it or not. I don't know, Destiny, like, here's the fucking thing, okay? The reason why constantly Israel gets compared to the Nazis very, very often is because the only solution to a force that is being clearly violent and is using violence as a first order fucking principle is unfortunately violence back to them, right? Like, that's all you can really do, unfortunately. That's just how it is, right? Like, if it requires some form of violent action in order to stop this fucking aggressor, that's just how it is. But unfortunately, the Palestinians do not have the capabilities in order to be able to mount a violent fucking resistance against Israel because they have the world's superpower that's constantly fucking backing them, right? And as a byproduct of that, they're just getting slaughtered out there by the tens of thousands and the fucking millions, bro. So if we are talking about a genocidal fucking intent that is happening here by Israel, which they have stipulated constantly in multiple fucking hearings within the Knesset, there are quotes that you can literally dig up from everywhere where Israel is making it very clear what their genocidal intent is. what exactly are those Palestinians supposed to do besides violently resist? Or having to rely specifically on America to step up and actually be the quote-unquote stewards of liberal international human rights that they pretend to be. Again, in terms of every fucking instance, in terms of Israel's actions, the only option left given by the Palestinians has been violent fucking resistance, because Israel has made it clear ever since the advent of Theodore Herschel's fucking writings that it is a settler colonial ethnic cleansing project. Always has been, always will be. But for whatever reason, Destiny just doesn't want to fucking understand that. He wants to be like purposefully obtuse about it for some reason. I wonder why. You know, propaganda trip probably explains it.
Up and acts like the shining beacon of democracy it has always pretended to be, forcibly dismantles Israel, and then stations a bunch of troops there to ensure that former Israelis don't continue to murder Palestinians, even though they're not allowed to anymore. Don't worry, Stephen, they'll prevent all the violence in the other direction that was never going to happen as well. Human Rights Watch cited starvation as a weapon of war, and the creation of conditions calculated to bring about the physical destruction of the Palestinian population. Doctors Without Borders cited the testimonies of doctors reporting that they routinely received children who had been shot in the head or chest by snipers.
And by the way, just to say real quick, that whole sort of like eye for an eye narrative is also, again, fascist fucking propaganda. Fascists also say the exact same thing, Destiny. So it makes me wonder, I have to ask this question, why do you keep parroting fascist propaganda?
As we mentioned, UNICEF reported that essentially all of the million or so children remaining in Gaza need mental health and psychosocial support due to immeasurable trauma, especially the thousands who have lost limbs, usually amputated without anesthetic, and those who have lost their entire families. The International Association of Genocide Scholars stated that the legal definition is cleanly met, citing war crimes and crimes against humanity. Jewish Voice for Peace, Amnesty International, even several Israeli organizations. It's a long list of organizations, and the list of criteria that qualify this as genocide is never ending. 90% of Gazans displaced, absolutely all farmland unusable, continuous blocking of humanitarian aid, starvation and life-threatening malnutrition, mass executions of healthcare and rescue workers. Israel is a club of genocide overachievers. If you deny the fact that Israel is committing genocide, you are no different from a
What should you do as a casual viewer to not follow propaganda like this? For the Jew shit, honestly, this was like you had to read all the original sourcing on everything, because everybody gets fucking mindfucked when it comes to Israel.
Everybody gets mind-fucked when it comes to Israel.
Okay,
when cornered,
bro.
he always resorts to his little catchphrases. He just watched me cite organization after organization which unanimously label this a genocide and list the reasons.
Bro, don't worry, guys. It's everyone's just mind-fucked by Israel. Like, really, Destiny, is everyone mind-fucked by a bunch of social media videos, like TikTok videos that they're seeing online? Are you going to really make the claim that everyone's basically mind-fucked because of that, Destiny? Like, really? Dude, I thought you were supposed to be a master at fucking debating. I thought you were really, really good at debate and rhetoric, little bro. This is like the weak, and I mean weak fucking defenses that you have, bro? Jesus Christ, man.
Why it is objectively genocide. He makes no attempt to engage with any of it, and instead pauses to respond to an idiot viewer who asks, how do I not fall for this list of undeniable facts, I mean propaganda, to which he spews some bullshit about reading original sources? What original sources? Sources for what? I showed you what human rights organizations say. If you don't like their conclusions, fucking address them, dickbag. This is like when James Tour tries to discredit a paper he doesn't like by whining about how you have to look in the supplemental data so that he can lie about what the supplemental data says to pretend he can discard the whole paper. Pathetic. But more importantly, there objectively is no precision whatsoever to the destruction in Gaza. More than 78%.
And also, real quick, it's not just Destiny who does that, it's also every fucking Zionist who does the exact same thing.
Of Gazan infrastructure has been demolished by relentless carpet bombing.
I think that number that he's referring to, I think, was in like the first year of the war. It's like 78% has some damage, not necessarily like completely destroyed or whatever, but I don't know what their number stands at now.
Basic logic would say that it's much higher now then, right, dumbass? Unless you think that Gazans are actually undergoing construction projects while they're being bombed and starved to death. Gaza is an unlivable hellhole. Everyone is living in tents and barely surviving. That's genocide.
What is it about the Israel-Palestine conflict that breaks the minds of people? It's just it's got enough for everybody to have like a strong opinion about it. Oppressor, oppressee, Western world versus non-Western world, Jew versus Arab, brown versus white, imperialism, colonialism, America, foreign involvement. It's just like everything. Occupier. There's like every possible thing that you could ever care about can be represented.
I'm going to say this again. No different than far-right fucking propaganda. Far-righters think like this, Destiny. Destiny, do you understand what you're doing here? This is unironically the exact same fucking kind of propaganda those motherfuckers that you're supposed to not like say. But he just wants to repeat it. Interesting.
In Israel-Palestine.
No, dipshit. What breaks people's brains is that it's absolutely unthinkable that any human could be as evil as Israeli officials and soldiers. The shit they do to Palestinians genuinely destroys a person's ability to have faith in humanity. It's specifically Holocaust levels of disdain for human life. That's how evil Israel is. Listing a bunch of categories isn't an argument. Yes, this genocide represents belligerent Western imperialism destroying indigenous populations, a thing that shouldn't be happening in the 21st century. Holy fuck, your audience is so brainwashed, it's astounding.
You didn't address carpet bombing. Was there actually any? No, there clearly isn't. Like, you can look at the death numbers. Like, as horrible as it might sound to say, like, if this was indiscriminate bombing, you would have expected to see way more people die.
Are you fucking mentally ill, bro? How can you count if more people are fucking dying, you fucking schizophrenic, when most of them are going to be buried under the rubble? Like, holy shit, man. He's really fucking stupid, man. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Like, God, that's incredible.
If they clearly didn't carpet bomb Gaza, then how the fuck is all of Gaza destroyed, you dumb piece of shit? Did they do this themselves? And again, the actual death toll is way higher than the official count because the latter involves only identified bodies.
Again, I believe the official count, correct me if I'm wrong, Boy Meets Mini, I think they say that the official count is about 73,000, something like that. I think they say it's like 73,000, but we all know that it's definitely higher than that.
I told you, and you skipped right past it, all the bodies that were totally vaporized or are still buried under rubble or were not brought in for identification because an entire bloodline was blown up at the same time, those didn't make it in the official count. That's why the real count is way, way higher.
Yeah, 73,000 official, but there was a Lancet publication claiming much higher. And we all know that it is definitely much higher.
Israel destroys entire villages in Lebanon during 3 weeks ceasefire. I think the most annoying thing about all of the the one-sided coverage is that it really does seem like why does Israel attack all of these people? Like, why are they attacking Gaza? You know, what's going on there? And
they're attacking Gaza because they want to take the land for themselves. Destiny, do you not know about the fact that there was a bunch of fucking settlements? No, he does know, Boy Meets Smitty. No, he definitely knows. He's being obtuse on purpose. Destiny, we know why they're doing this. We know. They're doing this because they want to fucking put settlements up again. There was reports of Israelis in Israel unironically doing, again, settlement projects within Gaza, which is something that they were not able to do back in for the latter part of about 20 years at this point because of the fact that they got kicked out by, Hamas.
Or hear about that. Like, why is Israel trying to attack Lebanon? I guess just to invade and steal land? Like, whenever...
Yes. Yeah. Greater Israel Destiny might want to look up something about that.
Hear about why.
You just answered your own question, dipshit. This is happening because of Western imperialism. There's nothing one-sided here. Is Lebanon blowing up entire villages in Israel and then keeping that land for themselves? No, Israel is doing that. They're doing it to Gaza, to Lebanon, to Syria, and they'll keep going with Egypt and other regions after that if the world allows it. This is the purpose of Israel. Fucking hell, what a moron. Israel is the aggressor state, slaughtering anyone they please, and anyone who stands in opposition to that is labeled a terrorist. These groups are the rebellion in Star Wars. Israel is the fucking empire. Do you think Emperor Palpatine would label Luke Skywalker a terrorist? Of course he would. Supporting Israel is like rooting for the fucking Death Star.
True.
The analogy is flawless, and all he can do in response is giggle like a toddler because I'm objectively right. Israel is the empire. Right down to their new space laser project he didn't even acknowledge.
אבל זה לא מצחיק, יש תוכנית עסקית. תקשיבו לי טוב, יש תוכנית עסקית שנבנתה על ידי אנשים שנבנתה על השולחן של ליד הדבר הזה הופך לבוננזה שנדל"ן לא צוחק, מחזיר את עצמו. אגב, אני קלטתי משא ומתן עם האמריקאים, אני לא מדבר בצחוק עכשיו, כי אני גם דובר.
Yeah, this is like Besalal Smotrich basically saying yeah, we just want to murder a bunch of people. Or rather, he was talking about all the real estate deals that are going to happen within Gaza as soon as they're done all the fucking carpet bombing.
Real estate mogul cosplaying as the president of the most powerful nation on earth. Yep, that was Destiny skipping ahead in the video yet again because he couldn't deal with what I was showing him. Bezalel Smotrich was outright admitting that the entire genocide was just pretense for land acquisition and real estate development. Right out of his own fucking mouth. Can't let your viewers see that, right, Stevie? Skip, skip, skip.
At Destiny, Hamas offered that multiple times. Israel said they weren't going to stop bombing them. It wouldn't matter. Then why keep them? Why not just release the hostages? You would 100x your international and even the domestic support.
I literally said this. I assume Professor Dave is going to say the exact same thing. Hamas unironically offered to give all the fucking hostages in exchange for Israel to not invade Gaza. Yeah. They did that already. Yeah, they offered the day after October 7th. On October 8th, Destiny. Okay, dude.
It would be so hard to justify anything. Why would you always give them that thing to fall back on? The reason why, and again, nobody that makes videos like this will ever acknowledge, is because Hamas invites the civilian death. They want as many civilians to die as possible. It is the goal, so that people like, Professor Dave can jerk off of these dogshit fucking TikTok slut videos they make on it.
Sorry.
Actually fucking just, I think that's just retarded, dude. You're fucking retarded. You're actually just one of the most mentally fucking retarded fucking people I've ever seen or ever encountered in my fucking life. If that's the fucking position that you sort of get to. Holy fucking shit, dude. Actually fucking incredible. Hamas literally, unironically, offered on October 8th to be like, hey, Israel, if you do not attack or do not invade within Gaza, we will give back all the hostages. It is fine. We'll just do that. What did Israel do instead? Continue with the invasion anyways.
TikTok what? There are no TikTok videos in here, and it wouldn't matter where they came from anyway. You just can't handle what the clips are showing, so you skip ahead like a little bitch. And why did they have hostages? Again, as bargaining chips for the release of Palestinian prisoners. They got some back, just as intended. And as I pointed out, but you didn't touch, all the hostages that Israel didn't blow up were returned a while ago, and Hamas even relinquished control of Gaza. Yet Israel continues to bomb Gaza. Doesn't fit your narrative, now does it?
ואיתמר דופק דין ולא פקודה, באמת, אני כמה שיצא בכירים, מה בהם פגעו? יש שיפחק לפני בית
Beyond this, hundreds of the civilians
מרגיש לי שאין, לא יודע מה שם, לא יודע מה שם, רוצה להגיד.
A little coincidental, no?
I believe that in that part of the Professor Dave video, that was someone who was giving testimony to the Knesset talking about the obvious genocidal intent that was happening from the IDF, talking about like, yeah, we were basically like given a bunch of orders to bomb all these people and to just not really fucking question it all that much. It was insane.
Oh, yes, this is him fast-forwarding through the clip where the IOF soldier explains how he was told to cancel a patrol of the border wall region where Hamas would break through, right before the time that it happened. This is in North...
Oh, it was the, yes. It was the patrol. Never mind. It's been a while.
Evidence supporting Israel knowing what was going to happen and allowing it to happen. He knows this, so he has to get past it as quickly as possible.
They'll say that it was the Hannibal Doctrine, that Israel will kill every single fleeing Hamas person, even if they have an Israeli with them, because they always try to kill their own people so they don't get taken hostage or something. Of which there's zero evidence of this happening, or I think it ever happening, but...
A little coincidental, no? Beyond this...
I don't think that has... I don't think the Hannibal Directive has anything to do... What the fuck are you talking about, bro? The Hannibal Directive? No, you dumbass. Hello? Why are you bringing up the Hannibal Directive here? What? Okay, dude.
Hundreds of the civilian casualties were the fault of Israel due to both friendly fire from incompetent teenage pseudo-soldiers, as well as the Hannibal Directive, which involves killing their own citizens on purpose to prevent their captivity, including a tank firing on a kibbutz. Right, no evidence of the Hannibal Directive being used. I then show the Israeli defense minister confirming that it was used, and Stevie doesn't engage with it at all, or retract his bogus statement. That's intellectual integrity for you.
Destiny, you're not even defending against any of his claims. You kind of just pause the video and then say, it's so easy to paint one side, and then just move on without addressing anything. None of these claims are like strongly factual claims that can even be, for some of these I have, but other, like if you're gonna find me...
Wait, then why if you're saying they're not strongly factually, like, accurate claims, then why the fuck does Professor Dave keep posting a bunch of articles and all you have are just a bunch of like random emotional appeals, dude? Like, hello? But yeah, dude, Dave is the one who's making, I don't know, like not a lot of strong fucking arguments. Okay, dude, nice meme.
Videos of people saying unhinged things. There are videos of people saying unhinged things. Yeah, of course. There are crazy fucking Israelis and Jewish people.
No, my video is not just a compilation of Israelis saying crazy unhinged things. That was just to demonstrate genocidal intent. Then there is the whole section where I clearly demonstrate that Israel is committing genocide. And then I cite a long list of organizations who label it a genocide and explain why they say it's a genocide. You didn't engage with literally any of that. That's why this person is making fun of you.
No, I'm saying debunk his claim when he's citing a copious amount of sources and organizations deeming this a genocide. Arguing over whether or not a thing is a genocide is a perspective on the ongoing war that if you want to get into fact deliberation, we deliberate facts, but I don't have a perspective on whether or not it's a genocide. I'm not as interested in hotly contesting that topic. And I think that if you are, I think it signals that there's something fucked with your brain.
Okay, so then why the fuck do you keep parroting all the fucking Israeli talking points? Why the fuck do you keep parroting all the fucking Hasbara points? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me then. If you're not contending that it's a genocide, if you're not contending that there are some Israeli politicians who say some fucking crazy shit, then why the fuck do you keep parroting all of their talking points? That doesn't make any fucking sense. There's an inconsistency here, Destiny.
It's not a war. It's genocide. That's the fucking point. And no, you are not interested in deliberating facts. That's why you keep sidestepping all of mine. You're just pretending that you aren't interested in the label of genocide because that's the specific label you're trying to manufacture reasonable doubt about. Everyone can see it by now, and that's why you're getting increasingly agitated.
In 2025, an investigation published by DropSite found that MENA complied with 94% of takedown requests issued by Israel since October 7. That same year.
Like, it is really crazy, too, that Professor Dave does, like, these super high-quality, like, science debunking videos of flat earthers and shit, and that comment in YouTube chat was true. He's using as his sourcing the same type of slop shit that conspiracy theorists that he argues against would use. Like, here is a TikTok video that has the spooky music and everything in the background playing while it gives you the opinion that you're supposed to have. It's like, Jesus.
But they're pointing to fucking articles? Hello? Talking about... what are you talking about? Are you just mad about the fact that it's The Intercept that's reporting this stuff? Are you mad about the fact that it's DropSite reporting this stuff? Is DropSite a weird, like, a conspiratorial rag or something? What are you talking about here? Okay, dude.
Again, there are no TikTok videos here. Other platforms utilize vertical video now. And it doesn't fucking matter where a video is posted. I use what I can find, which is difficult since Israel's PR machine is constantly scrubbing the internet of evidence of its genocide. This is just a pathetic excuse to not engage with the statements of human rights organizations, let alone the content of these videos he's brushing aside. Want me to prove that he's being disingenuous here?
Oh my god, these are some of my most trying times. When I'm arguing with somebody over like what's a good source or not, again, this is like a level 0 conversation. When I'm talking to somebody and I'm like, okay, so you don't believe this? Okay, well, let's go through this. And I'll throw them an article and they'll be like, really? CNN, Fox News? Like, no, you fucking moron. They're quoting somebody from the government. I'm just giving the articles, you see the quote. Now, unless you think the article's misquoting the person or pushing a wrong quote, the source is not fucking CNN. The source is the prime minister. The source is the president. The source is this.
Well, that's a little interesting that Destiny seems to understand that this is the case. But for whatever reason, he seems to like to attack the source if it's someone like DropSite or The Intercept that's doing the exact same thing. Well, that's a little interesting now, isn't it?
We can find 20 different articles that source the same quote, or we can find a statement from the government itself. But people will look at something like, oh, your source is Twitter? No, Twitter doesn't publish news. What do you mean? Your source is like, it's like, no. Oh yeah, people's lack of media literacy and just even understanding what a source is or what they're reading is incredibly frustrating.
Oh, so you're saying Twitter?
That's fucking hilarious coming from you, Destiny. Jesus fucking Christ. You're complaining about fucking like lack of media literacy when it comes to fucking Israel-Palestine. You seem to be one of the most media illiterate motherfuckers on the planet. Okay, dude. Very, very cool.
Twitter isn't a source, so neither is TikTok, which I didn't use, or YouTube Shorts, or whatever else you're whining about. That's right, you have to deal with the sources being referenced in the videos. So the investigation this video is referencing is what we should be looking at, right, Steven? So this pageantry you're enacting, when you claimed earlier that social media is overrun with pro-Palestine propaganda, when in fact all these social media platforms are regularly deleting pro-Palestine content and accounts, is really just you being a fucking douchebag. Got it.
Pangburn, who's a mutual contact of ours, says he reached out, and Professor Dave said no. I sent him a message on Instagram, he hasn't responded. Like, obviously I debate anybody on, especially Israel-Palestine. It should also tell you something that this guy is like one of the most avid debaters on the fucking planet, as much as me, if not more, when it comes to the flat earth shit. But he won't talk to me on this subject, so.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? What is the point of fucking debating a schizophrenic like you? What is that going to accomplish? What is the point? Like, what, you guys are just gonna, like, I don't know, get on the fucking call, yell at each other anyways? Yeah, you're not gonna debate Destiny, so therefore you're a nobody. What is the point of treating you seriously whatsoever if you're not gonna debate Destiny, who's one of the most unprincipled fucking hacks in I don't know, quote unquote politics, or rather online politics.
Yeah, that's a cool story, but it's just that, a fucking story. I've done 2 in-person debates, one on abiogenesis and one on vaccines, and 4 online ones, 2 on flat earth, 2 on creationism. In all my years as a science communicator, 6 debates. That's all. You just want to turn me into the master debater so that you can whine about me refusing to debate you. I have no interest in directly interacting with a gish-galloping genocide-denying cretin, especially on a Pangburn stage, given what a creep he turned out to be. Israel has a history of this behavior. In 1967...
the USS Liberty, the favorite, the go-to.
Yes, it's an example of Israel deliberately attacking America to achieve a political objective, giggling like a...
Yeah, guess what? Because I mean, it's a thing that happened historically, Destiny. I'm sorry that it's inconvenient that Israel does false flags for some reason. Is that the problem, Destiny? It's inconvenient that false flags happen? Israel literally has said... Israel themselves have literally said that they're totally willing to do false flags. Like, hello? Okay, dude.
A toddler is not a rebuttal.
Honestly, I'm pro-genocide. Like, it sounds really shitty, but like, I think that Israel should just draw its fucking borders about where it is now, and basically Palestinians can go live in another place. That's really shitty, but like, that's about right.
You just think the Palestinians just pack up and Native American the fuck out of it?
First of all, I like that this fucking, I like that this quote was before October 7th, so I had no clue even that much about Israel, and I had no clue, obviously there wasn't the terrorist on all the attention on these, on anything related to Israel-Palestine, number 1. But number 2, this is essentially their position just reversed, where they're like, well, both sides are probably going to genocide each other anyway, so it should just be like an Arab state, and maybe they have to kill all the Jews out for it to succeed.
That literally, what lefty has ever said that is the case? What lefty has ever said that is their position, Destiny? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, just schizo nonsense? Okay, schizo nonsense.
Like, it is the opposite position.
My bad, you guys. I didn't know anything about Israel when I said that, but supporting the ethnic cleansing and genocide of Palestinians is totally defensible, you guys. Because it's just the opposite of what you stupid pro-Pallies want. No, you fucking tool. You're just a genocide-supporting piece of shit who projects your lack of moral compass onto others. Nobody who is protesting genocide advocates for a reverse genocide. Jews and Christians were living alongside Arab Muslims in Palestine prior to the Nakba. Jews could have migrated to the region after the Holocaust and done the same, as equal citizens. You can make the argument that racial tensions might have arisen, but do you know what sure as fuck made it a whole lot worse? Zionist militias murdering thousands of people and stealing entire villages and displacing nearly 1 million Palestinians, followed by decades of never-ending apartheid and occupation, followed by nearly 3 years of full-fledged, unambiguous genocide. So take your whataboutism and shove it up your gaping asshole.
Yeah, maybe don't say things like that, to be fair. No, true. I will say things like that, and I'll stand by it, because the people on your side literally watch terrorist fucking videos and they cheer them on, so suck a fucking dick. It is such the tone policing...
What the fuck are you talking about here? Who is cheering on random fucking like live leak videos? The fuck are you talking about here, you fucking schizophrenic? Yeah, man, lefties, well known for cheering on random beheading videos or some shit being done by Hamas? Question mark? Has Hamas even done any fucking like beheading videos or something? Like I don't even know what he's fucking referencing to here because it's just so fucking stupid and just schizophrenic.
By you loser fucks that also don't care about this conflict and don't know anything about it. You're like, maybe you shouldn't actually say you're pro-genocide. Well, sit here with your fucking kafayas backwards and you're in the most retarded fucking statement you could ever make about like, oh, Hezbollah is just like the government of Lebanon and blah, blah, blah. Suck a fucking dick. Don't sit here and fucking virtue signal now. Okay, when you're cheering for dead Palestinian babies because you can jerk off of them and send them to your fucking friends online. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, says the jerking off fucking dipshit. We've talked about this whole sort of thing. I don't know, man. Considering the fact that you possess a bunch of CSAM, I don't think you should be talking about jerking off to children.
Out of here, fucking retards.
Sorry, what terrorist videos are we watching and cheering on? I don't cheer when Israeli terrorists murder tens of thousands of children. I oppose terrorism. You're a little confused. I mean, you can't even pronounce kafia while you brag about how worldly and knowledgeable you are, denouncing what you call terrorist organizations for resisting terrorism from the military superpower that is actively trying to wipe them off the face of the earth. Also, we all know that you do a lot of weird shit in terms of non-consensually sharing pornographic material, even involving underage individuals, so accusing other people of jerking off to images of dead Palestinian babies and sending it to their friends kinda sounds like the biggest projection of all time.
I don't care, bro. Call me biased. I don't know if I'm stupid, but even though I agree with you on almost everything here, the whole Israel trip felt like a weird whitewashing of Israel. Even though you argued with the crazy people there, it had a very weird vibe to it. That's because Israel's nowhere near as fucked up and crazy and bad as you've been told it is constantly over here. They definitely do bad things, and they're not beyond reproach. But, like, given the opportunity to go back in time when I said, well, both sides are going to genocide each other, but, I guess I'd probably prefer the Israeli side to the Palestinian side 100 to 0, obviously. Like, the Israeli side of this conflict is a trillion times more compatible with Western values, Western democracy, culture values, whatever the fuck else you want to say, than the Hamas side of it. And you're just, if you have to even stop and think about that for a microsecond, you've lost the plot so much that you're just...
Okay, let's just immediately tear this down right this instant. The claim that quote-unquote Israel is so in line with Western values, Western democracy, and liberal sort of values is nonsensical. First off, gay marriage, civil rights, dog shit within Israel. Second off, in terms of the bombing, for example, that Israel consistently does within the Middle East, of Lebanon, of Palestine, of the West Bank, constantly. You want to say that that is something that is in line with the liberal international order that is supposed to basically govern everyone? You want to make the claim that that is, in line with Western values? No, the fuck it is not, you stupid motherfucker. What are you talking about? Israel is an incredibly clear instance of an illiberal state that basically thinks it can do whatever the fuck it wants on the world stage for one simple reason and one simple reason only. Because they have the coverage of the United States of America. That is why they feel like they can get away with anything. You're supporting a fascist state, little bro, and you want to talk about how Hassan, quote unquote, is the illiberal all the time and does not believe in Western liberal values. Motherfucker, I think you are the one who does not believe in them.
Brain fucked on the entire Middle East.
Oh yeah, by the way, real quick, in terms of like that point right there, Zane, unironically, the logic that Destiny uses is the exact same shit as Asmongold. Him and Asmongold unironically shared, and I'm going to say shared, those exact same fucking views until Asmongold decided to all of a sudden be against Israel and AIPAC for some reason now. I wonder why that's the case with Asmongold.
Fucked, brain broken. He resorts to his pathetic catchphrase every time he knows he's saying something totally indefensible. Hey shithead, Israel being compatible with Western values of belligerent imperialism, apartheid, and genocide is exactly why it's such a disgusting country. America has been the global leader in terrorism since World War II, and Israel is a big part of that. That's exactly the fucking problem. America bombs wherever and murders whoever it wants. That's what Israel does too, which is bad. This is exactly why I would never debate some jerk-off like Destiny, because what I just said is so fucking obvious that it's not worth debating, but he would try anyway by running his motor mouth about British mandate this, Ottoman Empire that, flexing irrelevant book report knowledge to try and obfuscate from the very clear and very obvious fact that Israel is nothing but a Western outpost for destabilization and resource extraction in the Middle East, not some kind of glimmering bastion of democracy in a sea of dirty Arab jihadis that want to rape your daughters. This clip is the essence of—
And real quick, by the way, fucking Israel does not even believe in Western values as much as fucking Destiny likes to pretend that Israel fucking likes Western values. No, the fuck they do not. They are not liberal. They are clearly an illiberal fucking society. But Destiny doesn't understand that because brain is broken. His mind is eternally cucked to all the lefties that he pretends to hate so much.
of Destiny's Hasbara. He is trying to convince American liberals that Israel, yes, of course, despite some uh-ohs and whoopsies, is ultimately in the right and deserves all the territory it is illegally seizing, despite the tragedies that aren't genocide because he says so. Pathetic.
This guy was mega sus. I have to go back and read why. I don't remember. This is a long time ago, but this guy was... Every single Palestinian is like a poet or journalist or medical professional. You notice this. It's like 13-year-old killed. He was actually a member of the press, and he was a doctor in training, and he was a journalist and a poet and a singer-songwriter. It's like, okay.
No, a random 13-year-old is never...
What the fuck are you talking about, by the way, Destiny? Like, I don't know, man. If it was a random 13-year-old who got killed by Israel, that's bad because it's a random 13-year-old that's getting killed by Israel, Destiny. Like, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about there. But, you know, yeah, sure, whatever, dude. Even if it was a random musician, poet, singer, or whatever the fuck, like, that would just be bad because it is bad to bomb those people. Period. End of story.
A poet and journalist and medical professional. Poets are poets. Journalists are journalists. Doctors are doctors. All of whom are deliberately targeted by Israel because those who humanize Palestinians with art must die, and those who broadcast Israel's atrocities must die, and those who heal the Amalek must die. But no, Refa Al-Arir was not sus. He was a poet who wrote moving poetry, like If I Must Die, for which he indeed must have died. Because that's all Gazans can do. They have no ability to defend themselves, so they write poetry and try to retain solidarity as a community in the fear of near certain extermination. He was targeted and murdered by Israel as part of their campaign to erase Palestinian culture, another aspect of this obvious genocide, and Destiny's defense of his own disgusting slander at that time is to call him sus and then move on. Unreal.
People have been telling us that the Palestinians are starving to death for decades. People have been telling us that October 7th, no aid is going to country that has been kept at a caloric deficit, and now here we are months and months and months in, we're all dying.
And now we're years and years and years in.
Something's not adding up here. The math doesn't work. Something is not right about the story that's being told.
Yes, Destiny is denying the objective fact that hundreds of Palestinians have died of malnutrition and starvation.
That's hundreds? I've never seen that number. You have to go deep into the Al Jazeera archives to find that number. Hundreds? Even hundreds. But remember, the United Nations, they released a report saying that more Palestinians were at, it's like IPC level 5 of malnourishment and famine or whatever, that there were more Palestinians classified under starvation than all the other people starving in the world combined. I'm not misspeaking. All the other people in the world combined, there were not as many starving people as there were Palestinians. And somehow, day after day, week after week, month after month, somehow they all seem to have clothes on. None of them seem like emaciated. Like sometimes you'll get videos of kids that have like.
What the fuck are you talking about here? None of them are being like, bro. There's literally images in front of you right now of emaciated fucking children. Like, hello? What? Bro just wants to deny objective reality now all of a sudden? Okay, Destiny. Sure, man.
Like cystic fibrosis or some horrible ailment or whatever, but...
Deep into the Al Jazeera archives, as though that's not a reputable source somehow. And sorry, the source is World Health Organization. Hundreds of deaths attributed to malnutrition and dehydration. The report states that 500,000 Gazans face starvation, destitution, and death. Is WHO a bunch of dirty Hamas terrorists, Stephen? Day after day, week after week, month after month, what? People starve to death?
By the way, this is the exact same thing that literally every fucking freak within... Israel, all the fucking Zionists do consistently with all their fucking propaganda. Any sort of narrative that goes against the nonsensical bullshit they keep constantly claiming, they'll just say like, oh, well, clearly you must be Hamas. Oh, well, clearly you must be a terrorist or something. You're a terrorist supporter for saying all these things. It's like, yeah, sure, man. Everything that I don't like is automatically fucking terrorist supporters. Do you not understand how... basically you are using the exact same logic and language as Trump supporters, because this is exactly how they fucking think as well. 1-to-1 Destiny, which is why people have a lot of problems with you specifically doing all of this clear, I don't know, fascistic fucking nonsense, dude.
Yeah, because Israel deliberately prevents aid trucks from entering in order to starve people. And by the way, when they finally let in a little bit of aid to prevent a massive wave of starvation deaths that would yield a mountain of bad press by keeping people just barely clinging on to life, that doesn't mean it isn't a fucking war crime. Widespread malnutrition and the medical conditions that it produces are not excusable just because they aren't all dead already. And to top it off, this worthless stack of filth is regurgitating the disgusting propaganda from Bari Weiss and the Free Press that children in Gaza who are clearly dying of starvation actually aren't starving.
Oh, look, it's also Olivia Reingold, that fucking freak.
But suffer from other health issues like cystic fibrosis or cerebral palsy, which just make it look like they're starving, instead of them both having those conditions and starving to death. He is proudly regurgitating this highly publicly debunked Hasbara talking point like the worthless Hasbara operative that he is. Unbelievable.
Man, I thought Destiny was not a big fan of Bari Weiss for being an obvious, clear, like, MAGA-aligned propaganda. So whatever happened to that, Destiny? Huh. It's a little curious, isn't it?
It's just like, it's the weirdest starvation of all time, where the population has been continuing to grow. You're not having people dying of malnourishment. You have like an obesity rate that's higher than like every other country on the planet. You have like, not to say that it's good, not to say that it's acceptable, but like when you lie about every single fucking thing that you talk about for this region, it just makes, I don't know how to even fucking engage.
You are the one lying about it.
Literally, that's also the exact same lie that every fucking Zionist dipshit has also been saying. Like, how can it be a starvation when there's obesity rates, guys? Yeah.
every single thing, you lying piece of shit. The population continues to grow. Are you out of your fucking mind? They're being slaughtered daily. People are indeed dying of malnourishment. Obesity? Find me a picture of one fat Gazan right now. I fucking dare you. This performative outrage while you project your dishonor.
Wait, hold on. Okay, we're gonna get a dunk here on Professor Dave. DJ Khaled. It's so over, dude. I fucking owned this lefty, guys. Look at me owning this fucking libtard, dumb fuck lefty. Haha. Fucking got him, dude.
Stupid fucking communist!
So true. So, guys, you know what? I'm cooking with that one, guys.
Honesty is what you will be remembered for, Stephen. Oh, and the weird sex stuff. People think Jews control the West and all the governments and the media and the blah, blah, blah. How silly and conspiratorial. Well, it's not Jews wholesale, it's Israel. It's Zionists, both Jewish and non-Jewish. They do have an outrageous level of control, most obviously in the media. This is me debunking his bullshit claim that by being anti-Zionist, I actually hate all Jews, which was kind of the main point of his hit piece, and his response to me debunking it is...
And again, real fucking quick, this is about, the conflation that a lot of these motherfuckers do all the time between Judaism and Zionism. I don't know how many times it has to be said to these fucking goddamn freaks, but when people are talking about the actions of Israel, they are talking about the actions of Zionists. Hold on. We gotta get our keys. Gotta get our keys and start fucking jingling them for these dumb motherfuckers. When people are talking about Zionists, they're not talking about Jews. Crazy. It's like saying I hate all Christians despite being one, because I think evangelicals are dangerous war pigs. Whoa. Don't say that to Destiny. He may actually believe that you hate all Christians or something, Boy Meets Mini.
Oh shit, the end. What a titan of intellect. Then there are all the mergers. Did you hear about the latest one? Paramount, Warner Brothers, CBS, CNN, and HBO are all under one entity. Owned by, can you guess who? Larry Ellison, the Zionist scumbag who bought TikTok, and for the exact same fucking reason. When Zionist oligarchs have this level of command over the media landscape, while also having their hands in military AI and all kinds of other imperialistic shit, it means being able to execute whatever heinous acts they want, and then completely controlling the narrative surrounding it after the fact. To say that the vast majority of mainstream media outlets are controlled by Zionists is not a fucking conspiracy theory. It's a statement of fact. You don't have to stop at CEOs either. Look at who is selected to disseminate the narratives. Stevie, you previously whined about how I promote conspiracy theories regarding Jews controlling the media. I just explained how Zionists quite obviously control an enormous proportion of the media, and you said literally nothing. Can we assume that you're learning something from me here? Editor-in-chief of CBS News is now Bari fucking Weiss, whose right-wing propaganda outlet, The Free Press, was one of the biggest mouthpieces for Israel in the past 20 years. And what did she immediately do when she got there? She gutted the outlet and ousted anyone with an ounce of journalistic integrity, including 60 Minutes correspondent and 37-year veteran Scott Pelley, who publicly proclaimed that Bari was hired to kill the place. With the ship now sailing where Bari wanted to go, guess who shows up on CBS News?
They're coming from the Pentagon, NASA, the CIA, the FBI, and the Energy Department. So let's bring in Avi Loeb, who now leads the White House UAP Council. Avi, what do you tell us? What's in these files?
Dude, it's full circle.
Well, first, thank you for having me.
Avi fucking Loeb, the exact fraud I debunked that made Destiny cry about how I use the word Zionist excessively. Zionists take over CBS, hire a massive Zionist stooge to run the news, and they immediately host the Zionist fraud who spews bullshit about the UAP psyop coming from the government that is also held hostage by Zionists. Funny how that works, huh?
This is like a speech from American History X.
Again, I demonstrated the very clear coordination of Zionists taking over media outlets to then employ and platform Zionist frauds, and his response is to shout, whoa, and then say this is like a scene from American History X.
Maybe he's trying to do his best Crash Bandicoot impression, you know? He's trying to be like, whoa! You know? Maybe he's playing some Crash Bandicoot. I don't know, guys.
The fuck still listens to this guy? Only Mamdani had the balls to say that he would stay in the fucking city he is the mayor of like a normal person. When Israeli influence has infected American politics so thoroughly that it shows up in bizarre ways like this, you know the system is completely broken.
How about when weird pro-Pally shit infects the media so much, the mayor of New York City is talking about how he's going to arrest the fucking prime minister of fucking Israel. I'm going to act an ICC warrant. Come on, bro. Oh my god.
What pro-Palestine shit has infected the media, you schizophrenic? Wait, what? I would love to see what, I don't know, pro-Palestinian journalists exist within mainstream media, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Jesus Christ, man.
How is it propaganda to hold war criminals accountable for their war crimes, dickhead? Arrest warrants from the ICC are propaganda now?
And here's the fucking thing with that. Even though Zohar Mamdani tried to explore every legal avenue for that specifically, I'm going to tell you right there. Yeah, Chris Hayes, Ali Velshi, that's true, Boy Meets Mini. But they're like, you know, basically they do like, I don't know if they do the quote-unquote just saying that Benjamin Netanyahu is the problem, or if they say it's the entirety of Israel. I'm not 100% certain, but you are correct there. Chris Hayes and Ali Velshi do take the more anti-Zionist positions, because mostly out of political reasons, for example, right? Yeah, David Zaslav. Oh, Professor Dave might mention him, but David Zaslav took over Warner. That's true, Boy Meets Mini. But they may just do it for, like, political purposes, which, I mean, is fine, right? Like, obviously the optics and the politics of supporting Israel is just completely rancid and completely off, right? Like, if you are, I don't know, a politician with your salt, you do not support Israel, period, end of story. It's cooked for that goddamn country. It's over for them. But for some reason, Destiny wants to like keep supporting them out of spite for lefties or something. I don't know. It's just weird, man.
The ICC Hamas? Go ahead and explain this propaganda to me with your big brain, Steven.
That's right, folks. I'm a neo-Nazi for pointing out Zionist tactics of deception and victimization. All the deception Israel engages in to gaslight the world into supporting genocide, that's not real because Stevie says so. The victim complex they espouse, perpetually claiming to be the victims of terrorism while they commit heinous acts of terrorism, that's also not real because Stevie says so. In reality, there are no neo-Nazi tactics afoot here. Instead, there is only the Zionist tactic of irrevocably tethering Zionism to Judaism so that they can shout anti-Semite at anyone who points at their disgusting behavior.
I mean, how could you separate the two? You have a diaspora of people, well, not anymore now because they have Israel, but prior to that, yeah, it was a huge people without a country that they felt like, so they didn't have their self-determination. Yeah, what do you mean? How could you separate the two?
How can you...
I mean, it's pretty easy to separate the two. Orthodox Jewish people have been doing that consistently in a lot of their advocacy. Okay, bro. It's a nice meme. It's actually pretty fucking simple because you can just say, okay, Destiny, here's how I'm separating the two, okay? It's really easy, okay? Pay attention, buddy, okay? Zionism is an ethno-supremacist political ideology, whereas with Judaism, it is a religious and a cultural affiliation. I have now just separated the two. Whoa, crazy.
Separate the two. How can you separate Judaism from the disgusting Zionist ideology, which is based on ethnically cleansing a region of its indigenous people to produce an ethno-state? Gee, maybe by pointing out tens of thousands of Jews who don't support genocidal ethno-states?
Oh, whoa, look, I did the exact. Whoa, it's the Daho to Dave connection. Oh, it turns out it's actually really easy, Destiny. Oh, shocker.
Holy fuck, what a moron.
Just 7% of Jewish Americans identify as Zionists. How is that phrased? What? Identify as in like would call themselves that, or think or believe that like Jews should have a state. Oh my God! The AI answer, I can click this. Is this is a survey published in early of 2026 by the Jewish Federation of North America. It revealed. Okay, so this is the survey label breakdown. 37% identified as Zionist, 8% identified as non-Zionist, 7% identified as anti-Zionist, and 48% chose none of those labels. So but okay, good one, Chief.
Good one, Chief.
Okay, but that. What? What did that prove, Destiny? Dave only just said about how many fucking people identify in America as Zionists. Like, that's literally the only claim that he made? And that's like your epic fucking dunk, bro? Okay, man. Nice meme.
Dismantled his entire position, which is based on anti-Zionism being anti-Semitism because almost all Jews are Zionists. He did a desperate fact check, saw that the vast majority of American Jews are not Zionists, and his response is, good one, Chief, while ignoring the imagery of fiercely anti-Zionist Jews protesting Israel's genocide. Talk about intellectually bankrupt. There are even anti-Zionist, ultra-Orthodox Jews in Israel. Want to see what happens to them?
They get abused by police.
Holy shit, the video clip that starts 2 seconds before the fighting? Yes!
Sorry.
One can assume that they were probably protesting before that, Destiny. I mean, it's pretty easy.
What are you implying happened before this? Did the timid Orthodox Jews do something to provoke the police? You're watching Israeli police beat up Orthodox Jews in Israel, and this is the best you can come up with to excuse it?
I'm going to say that one more time so that it sinks in. Zionism is anti-Semitism.
Okay.
Zionism is a disgusting political ideology that has hijacked Judaism and Jewish history to justify imperialism, apartheid, and genocide. And Zionism is responsible for the lion's share of actual anti-Semitism that exists around the world as people react to Israeli aggression and misplace their anger on Jews as a whole. All moral Jews know this and speak out against Zionism the loudest, as it is
all moral Jews know this.
Their cultural identity that is being shattered by these monsters. Zionism is to Jew and Zionism the loudest, as it is their cultural identity that is being shattered by these monsters. Zionism is to Jewish supremacy, as Nazism is to white supremacy.
As Hitler tries to conquer the entirety of Europe, and I guess they think that Israel wants to conquer, I don't know how much of the Middle East. They always say the Greater Israel thing, who knows?
He's got to be regretting taking on this video.
Dude, Jesus Christ, man. He just didn't even, he can't even engage with that point. Holy, dude, Destiny viewers, like, this is your fucking king, bros? Like, yeah, he can't fucking engage with it because there is no way to be able to engage with that point. It's actually genuinely incredible. Like, nothing. Nothing at all. Pathetic.
Totally blind by now. I say an obviously correct thing, and he just sarcastically shouts, oh, on top of it, as though that's a rebuttal.
Oh, dude.
Then he starts talking about Nazi Germany trying to take over Europe, remembers how that's directly analogous to Israel trying to take over the entire Middle East, which is why the comparison works so well, and then scuttles along. Astounding.
Maybe anti-Zionist without being anti-Semitic? Maybe, but if you really wanted to dive into it, there's like a big, I think it's actually a pretty deep argument, but most people aren't even close to being able to have that discussion.
Hey, jackass, why don't you try having that discussion with any of the thousands of anti-Zionist Jews who fiercely oppose Israel's genocide and co-opting of their faith?
Sure, gladly. Here's the deeper discussion. If you want to run that down, you say, is anti-Zionism the same as anti-Semitism? On the surface, you would say, no, you should be allowed to be critical of the Israeli government,
while still simultaneously not being anti-Semitic. Okay, sure, but that's not generally what anti-Zionism means. And if you say you're critical of the Israeli government, how? If you're critical of the Israeli government in a way that you think that the Jewish majority of the state necessarily needs to not be a protected thing anymore, and you think you should necessarily allow the right of return for Palestinian diaspora or whatever, and you think that necessarily it will follow from there, it absolutely will, that Jews will be a minority in the country, and then you're also okay with saying, well, if they're a minority, they experience violence. I mean, I think maybe they should flee because they've, mistreated the Palestinians for so long, and that's okay. Then essentially what you're saying is, I am anti-Zionist, and I'm willing to accept the ethnic cleansing of every Jew from Israel if that's what happens at the end of it. So, like,
this is like just a fucking schizophrenic screed. Destiny, there's a bit of a problem with your fucking screed. The UN already said that the Palestinians have the right to return. Yeah, a bit of a problem with that one there, buddy. As a byproduct of Nakba in the UN resolution of 1947, after the Nakba happened and the first Arab-Israeli war happened, the Arab-Israeli war would have been after that because of the terrible resolution that ended up going through. But they have said that if the Palestinians want to return to their homes as a byproduct of the Nakba, they can do that. They are allowed, and they have the ability to do that under international law. And that Israel can go kick rocks. But does Destiny know that? Well, apparently not, despite the fact that it does so much reading about this, guys. I thought Destiny was such an avid reader about history of the conflict of Israel and Palestine. What happened, guys? What happened?
Like, is anti-Zionism anti-Semitism in that case? I mean, like, kind of. Like, I understand why the Jewish people that say that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. I understand why they say that, because that is the logical conclusion, but none of you fucking retards have ever been pushed on that point in your entire fucking life, because you don't have any conversations about this. None of you do.
Oh my gosh.
What is the point of having a conversation with a schizophrenic like yourself, bro? There is no point of having a conversation with someone like you, because it's extremely clear that you are not an honest actor and have barely any idea what you're fucking talking about. So then you keep talking about how you want to have a conversation, What is the point? When you yourself have no idea what you're talking about and have made it extremely fucking clear that you are completely out of your depth here.
End apartheid and genocide, then bad stuff might happen to Israeli Jews because I say so, which means we shouldn't do anything to stop apartheid and genocide. First of all, he always insists that preventing Israel from continuing to commit genocide would necessarily result in the dismantling of the State of Israel, and that the dismantling of the State of Israel would necessarily result in Palestinians returning to claim the homes that were stolen from them, and Palestinians returning to their homes would necessarily result in a complete and total ethnic cleansing of Jews.
Which, again, this is not how that works. Like, there are other options that can be considered, Destiny, instead of just like this one logical through line that you're trying to use as an own against lefties
from the region. That's a trio of ridiculous non sequiturs. Protesting genocide is simply protesting genocide. But I agree, the State of Israel should be dismantled, so let's grant him that one. Does that necessitate a right of return for displaced Palestinians? No, not necessarily. I would advocate for that personally, but it's a discussion that would be had. I personally believe that anyone who is alive who had their home...
I agree with what Dave is basically saying here, but the discussion has already been had, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Boy Meets Mini, but I'm pretty sure that they're already in the UN resolution of 1947. The Palestinians already have the ability to have the right to return if they want to, as a byproduct of what exactly? Oh, the Nakba. But okay, dude. Apparently for Destiny, that's like rocket science or something. All right, dude.
Homes stolen from them should get it back. As for Jews becoming the minority, how the fuck is that a concern that should outweigh genocide? And how is that equivalent to ethnic cleansing? Again, Jews lived in Palestine prior to the Nakba. They'd be in way bigger numbers now than back then, and they would be the impediment.
And guess what? They were already fucking living peacefully in the area, and guess what happened? Oh, the British and the fucking French came in and fucked everything up. This is the logic the Muslim League had against unification of South Asia post-independence, by the way. They thought Hindus would cleanse all Muslims in the East and West Pakistan because of the extreme RSS. That's what they somehow got from the brutality of the partition, meanwhile apologizing for their British masters. Yeah, but apparently for Destiny, the same thing clearly has to apply. It has to apply. Which means it necessitates for Israelis to be the masters of the Middle East now or something. I don't know. Something logic from Destiny or something.
To coexisting peacefully, not Palestinians. Lots of them would leave by choice because they wouldn't be able to enjoy the benefits of apartheid and occupation any longer. That's not the same as ethnic cleansing, which is what Israel is doing. When you're used to subjugating other people, equality feels like oppression, and it would take decades for things to equilibrate, with lots of hate crimes mainly in the direction of Palestinians, since plenty of Israelis would not leave and would be enraged by their belligerent imperialistic ethnostate being dismantled on Palestinians' behalf. But whatever challenges would arise, there's no way it would be worse than fucking genocide. So stop acting like anti-Zionists are silly toddlers who just can't wrap their heads around diplomacy. It's pathetic. People who inhabit a place don't deserve to continue inhabiting that place. Palestinians don't deserve Palestine. Well, it wasn't an apartheid ethno-state. Jews and Christians...
Was it? Was it not? All types of people lived happily ever after in the Ottoman Empire and all the preceding caliphates. There wasn't a single religion that was enforced. What does caliphate even fucking mean? What is stupid? Everybody lived in harmony for 2,000 years, and then the Jew nation attacked. Like, what the fuck? It's just so infantilizing and...
So Destiny clearly does not understand about how the history of the caliphates worked. The Rashiduns, the Umayyads, and all the Islamic caliphates would basically try to have local leaders integrate as much as possible. Now, they would have the jizya tax, for example, on non-believers of Islam, and if you convert to Islam, then you would not have to pay the jizya. But if you do pay the jizya, you know what happens? You are still allowed to maintain your local culture. You are still allowed to maintain your local power structures within the area that you live in. So, for example, there were Jewish leaders within Muslim fucking caliphates. Same with Christian leaders as well. They all fucking existed during those times, of course. And if you also paid the jizya tax, those minorities... would not be, well, not minorities. Well, yeah, technically minorities, yeah, religious minorities, would not be inducted into the army either. They were exempt from service within the military for the caliphates. So, and they were able to get along pretty well? Yes, that's true, Boy Meets Mini. Also, only land-owning non-Muslim men had to pay the tax. Exactly, Boy Meets Mini. So, again, like, Destiny, you do not know what you're talking about in terms of Muslim caliphate history, bro. I should know. I did actually study a bit of this shit.
Stupid, too. It's an American perspective. This is why I know his wife is the whitest fucking American possible. I don't care if she's brown. She's the whitest fucking American possible. Because there's no way that anybody in this guy's family is remotely related to any part of the world outside of America.
Wow. Okay.
What does fucking Dave's wife have to do with any of this stuff? This is very weird.
First of all, my parents are Italian immigrants. Even my sister was born in Italy. I'm literally the only person in my entire family who was ever born in America or anywhere outside of Italy for that matter, in recent history at least. Second, my wife is not white at all. She's Arab. Arabs are not white. Her parents fled Palestine in the 1970s. Her two oldest brothers were born there, while she and her youngest brother were born here. We are both first-generation Americans. Her parents had their homes stolen from them twice, once separately when they were children during the Nakba, and once again together shortly before they fled the region. So my wife...
I wonder why Dave in particular might care a lot about this issue. You know, I'm just gonna say, dude, he's a wife guy. He's doing this because he's a wife guy. You know what? Can we get 2 rounds of applause? Can we get some claps in the chat for wife guy Dave over here? You know, I can respect a wife guy. You know, I can respect that, dude.
Is Arab American and not white at all. None of that really matters, of course, since genocide is genocide no matter where my wife and I were born or grew up or where our families are from, and us being white or not white or American or non-American has no bearing on our ability to condemn genocide.
Yeah,
but more importantly, without going back 2,000 years for whatever bizarre reason, Palestine prior to the Nakba was not an ethno-state or a caliphate or whatever the fuck you're implying. Being majority Arab Muslim does not mean ethnic or religious supremacy is codified into law. Muslims, Christians, and Jews did indeed coexist peacefully. There were shared cultural spaces and celebrations.
Dude, they were fucking living they were coexisting peacefully in Jerusalem for hundreds of fucking years, dude. Like, unironically. You wanna know what disrupted that? Oh, the fucking Crusades, bro. Like, Destiny, this is why you need to read some fucking history, little bro. You need to read some fucking history, dude. They coexisted under the Ottoman Empire. They coexisted under the fucking caliphates. They coexisted under so many fucking places, dude. But, you know, for some reason, Destiny doesn't understand any of this stuff. Okay, bro. Nice meme.
My late father-in-law was friends with non-Muslims. So you can whine about anecdotal this or that, but you're not interested in learning about anyone's stories anyway. So there's no point trying to help you see another perspective than the Zionist one. So you can keep whining about how infantile it is to yearn for a reality without a genocidal ethno-state terrorizing the Middle East. Nobody gives a shit. Well, it wasn't an apartheid ethno-state. Jews and Christians lived in Palestine and they got along.
Like, it was literally an apartheid ethno-state. Literally, it was one religion throughout the whole thing. And if you were a different religion, you were sectioned off in your own little fucking place. And you couldn't even hold members in government. It was literally an apartheid under the empire, under the caliphates preceding the destruction of the Ottoman Empire, the fall of the Ottoman Empire. Like, literally, actually, definitionally.
Destiny does not know what he's talking about here, dude. He's just wrong.
No, it literally was not that. Christians and Jews could and did hold public office in Palestine prior to the Nakba, and nobody was sectioned off. They were culturally integrated. You're lying, like the worthless, lying piece of shit that you are. But maybe if you yell a little louder,
I literally
just
said the exact same thing.
This is exactly what he would do if we were to debate,
dude.
by the way. Just confidently lie while yelling over me nonstop, while his idiot fans cheer like seals. From choosing this slanderous title and thumbnail, you gotta get those
slanderous.
clicks, right, Steven?
He is indistinguishable from a neo-Nazi, 100%. I'll own that easy. Actually, more mask off than most neo-Nazis would be, because they realize they can't get away with.
Fucking says you, Destiny, who unironically just parrots a bunch of fucking dumb fuck Zionist talking points. Okay, bro. Nice meme, dude.
This much crazy shit.
Sure, double down on calling me a neo-Nazi after you previously made a big deal about how you didn't call me that. You just said I used neo-Nazi rhetoric. Well, now here it is nice and clear, so nobody can be mad at me for tanking this piece of shit's reputation at the end of the video, since he is outright calling me a neo-Nazi. Anyway, that's it for Destiny's response. The overwhelming majority of the reaction was him watching me...
Yeah, basically saying nothing and not engaging with any of Professor Dave's points. Like, honestly, like, this is a pathetic showing here by Steven, dude. Unironically, one of the most fucking pathetic things I've ever seen, dude. Like, Steven, you should feel bad, and you should stop making content, dude.
Demonstrating very clearly that Israel is committing genocide, and either saying nothing, chuckling to himself and spouting vacuous one-liners, or whining about totally inconsequential, unrelated shit, while subtly skipping ahead at various points to try and minimize audience exposure towards visceral imagery that makes a conclusion of genocide undeniable. Anyone with a brain knows this is genocide, and he has a brain, which is how we know he's just lying and denying genocide on purpose. With that covered, let's move on to Pangburn.
Oh boy, Pangburn. This guy has 238k subscribers? Why the fuck have I never fucking heard of this guy? Wait, what the fuck is fall liberalism? Fall liberalism? The fuck is that? Well-being, communication, patience, lightheartedness, inspiration. Aw, dude, bro. God. What the fuck is this, man? I don't even want to know. I know that this guy has basically been having like a ton of fucking videos talking about this specifically. I don't know, because he's an uninteresting content creator, if I were to make a bet, who just wants to suck Destiny's balls for some reason. Okay, bro. What do we have? We're probably not going to go too much into the Pangburn stuff, because apparently this guy is allegedly a fucking creep. Whatever. I don't care about that all that much. I just mostly want to. I just want to take a bit of a look. What do we have here?
If you're not familiar with his channel, this is what it looks like. Check out this flashy banner, which serves as his audition to be Tucker Carlson's understudy in performative outdoorsiness. What are these terms under his name? I think you missed one, buddy. Be sure to add genocide apologetics.
Yeah, what the fuck is fallibilism? Fallibilism? Okay, bro.
When you get a chance. Once again, this guy has been having a full-on nervous breakdown about my video since I released it. When he first did one fairly long fact-checking style video, it was already way out of line. But then the more content he made about me, the funnier and funnier it got.
Bro, why do you... Okay, 10 hours, 13 hours, 21 hours, 26... 30 hours. Why do you have 30 hours just talking about this shit, bro? Philosophy term, apparently? What is this? Medieval Latin, liable to error, is a philosophical principle that propositions can be accepted even though they cannot be conclusively proven or justified. So just the philosophy of fake news, basically, or that neither knowledge nor belief is certain. Okay, dude. Okay, this is what it is. It's right here. Knowledge nor belief is certain. This is how this dude fucking justifies being a debate, bro.
Until I almost started...
Dude, it's the debate bro, it's the debate bro philosophy. Yo. Yeah, skepticism, basically.
To feel sorry for the guy. It's an implosion on a scale that is rarely observed, at least not since James...
Wait, okay, he's a skeptic, yet he decides to fucking defend Destiny's positions that are all, like, factually fucking wrong. But, okay, dude, whatever.
Decided to make a zillion videos about me, and we all know how that ended. Obviously, I couldn't bring myself to sit through every last minute of this Ken Burns saga on steroids, because ain't nobody got time for that. But I jumped around and watched as much as I could, and boy is it pathetic. So let's go through some highlights now. Rather than going chronological, let's start with the most pathetic content of all, some of these shorter clickbait videos that legitimately qualify as slander.
Dude?
Take a look at this.
Yeah, what? Like, I didn't know that Dave Happy Merchant posted? What the fuck is this, man? Okay, dude. Nice meme.
Shit. Professor Dave believes conspiracy theory, and the thumbnail reads, image from Dave's video. Oh my goodness, Dave is such a vile anti-Semite that he actually used the Happy Merchant to make fun of Jews. Except he knows damn well that I used this image to represent legitimate anti-Semitism in my video. Allow me to refresh your memory.
People often note that you can find some really egregious anti-Semitism on social media, so my tweets must have been even worse than those of actual Nazis in order to merit suspension. But those people are very confused. Zionists love anti-Semites. They quietly celebrate their presence on social media because their existence fuels Israel's victimization narrative. Israel can bomb anything they want.
Well, that was really easy. You know, Pangburn, if you want to be the, I don't know, the super skeptic bro that you pretend to be, you're going to have to try a little bit harder than that.
shoot any child in the head, steal any land, but they will always continue to be the victims. I had dozens of loser trolls whine about this part of the video as well, and I mocked every last one of them for being fucking idiots who didn't listen to a word I said. As you can see, I said that Zionists love actual anti-Semites on social media because it fuels their victim complex, and I showed an actual anti-Semitic image to represent the actual anti-Semitism I was referencing.
Pang, I thought you were supposed to be a fucking skeptic, little bro. Well, what happened? What happened?
Pangburn knows this because he watched my video many times, so he's deliberately misrepresenting my video to perform blatant character assassination in a clickbait thumbnail like a worthless, disingenuous sack of shit, just so he can post the link and thumbnail on Twitter to get some engagement from losers who won't even watch the content. They'll just shriek anti-Semite and crap their pants. This is just a montage of snippets being reposted from his longer reaction videos. I just wanted you to see some of these thumbnails because they're fucking insane. Moving along, this one is called Professor Dave Targets a Minor, and the thumbnail says, "Look at this kid. Yes, he is pretending I'm some kind of pedophile or sexual predator when that is, in fact, what Destiny is." How about this one? This is disgusting, Dave. The part of your video where you pointed out that Zionism is morally indistinguishable from Nazism is disgusting. You know what I find disgusting? Genocide denial. But since this one is so short, let's hear him make his case.
I'm going to tell you right now, it is really easy to basically say that Zionism is literally no different than fucking Nazism. The ideologies are quite close to one-to-one. Because, again, Theodore Herzl himself made it very, very clear that the ideology has to be somewhat colonial.
This is nothing fucking like that.
And calling them vermin, parasites, rats, whatever they could do to dehumanize them.
You've been doing the same thing, Dave, throughout this video. You've been calling other people dehumanizing names as well. So you should...
Wait, has Dave been calling... Wait, I don't recall at all at any point in time. This is the fucking... God, he's doing fucking civility politics shit? Oh, never mind. This guy makes me want to fucking shoot myself in the brain in Minecraft, in a video game, metaphorically speaking. Jesus Christ, man. Oh my fucking lord. He just does fucking civility cuck bullshit. Fuck off, man.
Shouldn't do that either. I agree, they shouldn't be doing that, but you shouldn't do that either.
Who have I been calling what?
I don't know, like, who... Yeah, in Dave's initial video, who the fuck was... Dave calling like vermin or rats or parasites and using explicitly dehumanizing rhetoric in that way? I don't think he called anyone that. Like, just what is he talking about here? I don't know. I don't understand what's being said here by Pangburn.
Dipshit. You mean the monsters who are actively committing genocide? I shouldn't call them monsters because that's too dehumanizing. Am I so mean for using words like monsters to refer to people who murder children by the tens of thousands? Monsters. Is that the same as Nazis referring to Jews as vermin and rats, or Zionists referring to Palestinians as human animals and Amalek? You think that calling out the perpetrators of genocide is the same as hate speech aimed at dehumanizing an entire race of people to target them for genocide? Thanks for showing everyone what a complete fucking moron you are. You're doing my work for me. Did you want to take a second and come up with something a little more convincing?
And it's like Israel is equal to the Nazis? Come on, man.
I mean, yeah? Do you see what their politicians post every single time? Like, okay, you know what? We're doing the fucking meme. We're doing the meme. Let's go. I'm going to find that Itamar Ben-Gvir tweet. Here, Pangburn, just for you, buddy. As you can clearly see, as is being indicated here by Twitter itself, and this shit was said about a month ago or something, this post has violated X's rules, or Twitter's rules. However, Twitter has determined that it may be in the public's interest for the post to remain accessible. And everyone has been constantly reposting saying like, oh, click to translate on a Israeli tweet. Discover new chapter of the of Mein Kampf, basically. But here, why don't we go through this? For every tear of an Israeli mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep. All of Lebanon must burn. Right there, instantaneously, clear fucking genocidal intent. So, again, if Hitler fucking had Twitter, he'd be saying this exact same fucking bullshit. With all due respect to the Americans, Israel must make it clear to the entire world that the blood of our sons and the security of our citizens are not forfeit. All of Lebanon must burn. Again, clear genocidal intent. Our supreme duty is to protect the citizens of Israel and the soldiers of the IDF, and this commitment takes precedence over every other consideration. I told the Prime Minister, even in our private meetings, for every tear of an Israeli mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep. Again, explicit targeting of Lebanese families for one Israeli fucking casualty. Insane. Enough of the ping pong in the Middle East. You don't win with measured responses and restraint. You need to go berserk to obliterate, to crush the terror. So Pangburn, you want to keep telling me about how Israel and Nazi Germany are not the same? And again, evergreen meme. Translating an Israeli tweet from Hebrew is like discovering a lost page of Mein Kampf. Evergreen fucking tweet, especially when it comes to this fucking psychotic freak here in Itamar Ben-Gvir. Clip from a recent podcast appearance, I assume from Itamar Ben-Gvir. Yeah. Oh, I remember this clip exactly. Yeah, I've seen this clip. But yeah, Ben-Gvir is calling for systematic nighttime killings across Gaza, targeting civilians and combatants alike. Take out 30, 40 of them nightly. Again, you want to tell me that this isn't genocide, Pang? Okay, buddy.
You can't be serious.
Wow, that is pretty convincing. I mean, here I was comparing two deranged genocidal societies, given that they both commit genocide, which is a pretty strong link, but I wasn't prepared for. Come on, man. You really got me there, jackass.
You just gotta, you gotta have some moral culpability here. For putting up a Israeli flag and equaling that to Nazis, like,
Jesus Christ, we're just doing fucking civility cucked bullshit. God. Okay, now I'm becoming, now I'm definitely becoming glad with my decision of not going over this motherfucker specifically, because it's just all the exact same, like, lip cucked, fucking pathetic, weak ass, civility cucked bullshit. Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, do I need some moral culpability? What about the people who are actively committing genocide? Do they need moral culpability? Go fuck yourself.
That is so
nice meme, dude.
Dismissive of the unique level of destruction and brutality that we saw in World War II by way of the Nazi regime.
Shut the fuck up, you stupid moron. So what, just because of all the Jews who got fucking murdered in a genocide being done by the Nazis, that means Israel needs to do the exact same thing? In order to, I don't know, have some form of reparation for what happened to them? Personally, I don't think a genocide should be of, again, people who had nothing to do with the Holocaust, that being, of course, Palestinians. So I don't think a genocide of another people should be payment back to the obvious fucking crimes and genocide that happened to these to Jewish people during the Holocaust. I don't think that's how that works. Actually, I think that's a fucking really stupid logic. In fact,
and honestly, I think this kind of comparison, this graphic, putting it up is shameful, deeply shameful.
Your fucking non-argument, your civility cucked bullshit is fucking shameful. You are pathetic. Stop posting content.
You cannot equate these things. Just because you see some similarities.
Actually, you can,
like,
guys.
I mean, yeah, it's a bad and wrongful thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just going to say it. I think Pangburn, I'll just say it. I don't give a fuck. I think he's probably okay with the Holocaust, guys. I don't know, guys. If this is, like, your only fucking argument, just doing, like, civility-brained, like, loser-ass bullshit, when, again, we can look at people within power in Israel who say obviously clear genocidal fucking things with intent to try to follow through it. Because, again, Itamar Ben-Gvir, national security minister, he has power. He can do stuff and try to follow through with a lot of his threats. But we want to just be like, I don't know, guys, it's kind of like icky and stinky that Dave would say this. Fuck out of here with this bullshit.
To compare these things.
It's bad and wrong to compare two genocides, you guys. The Nazis were totally unique. They slaughtered men, women, and children indiscriminately, which is exactly what Israel does. But there is no comparison because reasons. The only thing that's shameful is your Israel apologetics, asshole. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It's identical. They proudly announced genocidal intent and then later denied.
You are grafting on that information you just read, those anecdotes, onto Israel as a whole. And you're saying Israel is equal to...
Hey, dumbass. Holy shit. God, this guy's actually, I think, brain dead. Buddy, you might want to take a look at some of the laws and the actions that Israel is taking against Palestinians might change your mind a little bit.
The Nazi regime. That is a leap you know better than that. You should not be making that leap. It's also an immoral thing to do, to make that leap. even if you see some things that you think, some of these statements are made, when we look at the context, and when someone like Benjamin Netanyahu clarifies that he's talking about, wanting to wipe out Hamas specifically time and time again.
How is anyone this much of an...
Well, that's a good point there, Boy Meets Smitty. Yeah, I thought this guy was a skeptic. Yeah, why are we bringing in morality? I thought we were supposed to be above morality. We're supposed to, like, I don't know, engage with this in a skeptical sort of manner. Again, weak, fucking pathetic, dude. Like, this is nonsense.
Of an intellectually bankrupt piece of shit. How many quotes do I need to show? How many different ways do I need to demonstrate the very clear genocidal intent that is expressed by Israeli officials and citizens across...
Again, like, Itamar Ben-Gvir has been pretty fucking consistent with his genocidal intent.
The board. You can shut your eyes and ears and pretend they're not real. The rest of us will live in reality and mock you for being a genocide-denying douchebag. And I've got news for you. Not every single German citizen living under the Nazi regime would have decided to slaughter the Jews out of their own accord. They got caught up in nationalistic propaganda, just like what Israel does, which is why Israeli society is so supportive of genocide. Here's a bunch of young girls waving Nazi flags. Do you think they all woke up one day wondering why nobody is murdering all the Jews? Of course not. That's what propaganda is for. All you're doing is continually reinforcing everything I said in the video while pretending to refute it by saying, come on, man, and that's shameful. What a fucking dong.
Like, this is
like unironic fucking... I think I've seen enough. I don't really give a shit about any of this stuff. Apparently he's also like a fucking creep or something. What's some of the creep stuff? A few thoughts on the implosion of Pangburn philosophy? The fuck is this?
Since he's one of the speakers who got stiffed. He outlined the whole debacle in a blog post. Others called him out too, like in this lengthy Twitter interaction. Pangburn philosophy totally imploded, and nobody wanted to touch this guy after all that. There's a long video from someone named Benjamin Boyce that goes into quite a bit of detail regarding Pangburn's perpetual shadiness.
So he took no responsibility there, but even though he empowered her to do that, he would pull back on the reins and tell her to stop doing things. And then...
Oh, this is like creep behavior. Interesting. Now I'm kind of curious about this. What is this?
Shitty AI say. Second, there's no reason to believe that any ticket sales or money raised would go to charity as promised. In case you're unaware, Pangburn got embroiled in a huge scandal a few years back because he got caught not paying out his speakers and not refunding ticket holders for canceled events. Sam?
We got a little scammer on our hands here. Very, very interesting. So, yeah, this guy's whole fucking shtick is basically he hosts events, has debates with a bunch of speakers, and guess what? I guess he decided not to pay a bunch of people. Very, very interesting.
There is, in fact, a genocide occurring or has occurred, but that shouldn't be presented as a universal fact. It's still contentious.
Wait, this... He acknowledges that there is a genocide that's actually happening, and oh my fucking lord, dude, what does he want to do? Some like actually bullshit now or something? Dude, that's fucking awesome. God, this guy's a fucking... He's not a weasel. He's just a coward.
Contested by who, dickhead? Israel? That's
by
shocking.
Israel?
How about you actually engage with the arguments put forward by human rights organizations and genocide scholars who have confirmed that it's genocide? You just say it's contested because some people refuse to admit it. That's not an argument.
So, Dave...
I think I've seen enough from this stupid motherfucker. So, I guess he does actually think that there is a genocide, but apparently now it's being contested, guys. I wonder who's doing the contesting they're paying. I think I've had enough of this motherfucker. I do not care anymore. This guy is a stupid fucking coward. We're going back to fucking Destiny. Where's Destiny? Where does he show up again? Right around here? Looks like it's right around here.
He could have just stayed above the fray and not commented on anything. Hell, I might even have done more events with him, as we were discussing a bit before I released my Destiny video. Now he's just going to go back into the dustbin of obscurity after everyone sees what a fraud he really is. Someone who platforms sexual predators and genocide deniers and slanders those who stand against that.
That's true.
Finally, getting back to Destiny, it's easy to see the big picture regarding what he has become. Deep-throating Israel goes right along with his deep-throating establishment Democrats. Chuck Schumer and the like, the absolute shittiest Democrats who are virtually indistinguishable from Republicans.
27% approval rating.
The ones who are in the pocket of the oligarchy and willingly fund genocide just like all Republicans. That's who he represents. Establishment Democrats refuse to condemn Israel's genocide, and Destiny does that too.
And by the way, the only reason why Destiny fucking likes establishment Democrats is purely out of spite. That's literally it. He's still mad about the fact that he was not able to monopolize all of Twitch poll around himself during 2019, where he desperately tried to integrate Hassan and Vosh and various other lefty fucking content creators in his fucking orbit, because they decided to do what exactly? Oh, the crime of their own fucking thing.
That's why his loser cult shames anyone who votes third party, and it's why they attack legitimate progressives like democratic socialists such as Hassan Piker, who are devoted to real change and actually addressing wealth inequality. Destiny's job is to shame progressives into being less progressive to protect the establishment. Anyone trying to pressure the party into shifting leftwards from their current right-of-center position must be demonized. He's defending a sinking ship, and he's going to go down with it. And if you don't believe me, check this out.
I do think that you should have said yesterday when Pisco moved it on you, JD Vance or AOC. I think that that's a pretty easy answer.
Substance.
The thing is I don't actually know that. Like, in a vacuum with no political influence, I don't know what JD Vance's political opinions are. Like, the guy was a more moderate Republican type person, but the problem is JD Vance, like AOC, seems to have no capacity to deal with his own side, right? And that he's fully bought.
I remember this fucking clip here specifically by Destiny. Basically, he's trying to come up with like some pathetic excuse to shit on AOC for what exactly? Oh, because he can't understand about how fucking JD Vance is just nothing more than a fucking chameleon who literally believes in nothing and will just basically do anything possible in order to get into the annals of power. That's like literally it. Yep, JD Vance is Midwestern Peter Thiel. He should know this, but he doesn't because, again, he needs to shit on AOC at all times because she's a part of the DSA.
On to co-sign whatever crazy dick-sucking shit Trump needs. So, I mean, like, it's not like I would trust, even if Vance was more moderate, I don't know if I would trust him to govern more moderately if there were extremist voices in his camp. I also don't know how much he is actually like a crazy fucking crypto loony fuck after getting brainwashed and mindfucked by Peter Thiel and everything.
Do you know who he is? What do you mean brainwashed and mindfucked by Peter Thiel? Peter Thiel created JD Vance, okay? Go look at Naria Capital and where they got all their money.
That's right. AOC, an actual progressive who is genuinely fighting for policy that will benefit the citizenry over the oligarchy, versus JD Vance, Trump's sidekick and Peter Thiel puppet, who is essentially an empty vessel for the oligarchy. Destiny just can't seem to make up his mind between them. Democracy versus fascism. It's a toss.
I don't know, guys. You know, for all the fucking memes constantly about cut a liberal and a fascist fucking bleeds, as much as I did not like that in particular, as much as I thought it was pretty fucking ineffective for, it was basically like every single like lefty to be parroting that propaganda. As far as I'm concerned, at this point in time, I think that with like people like Destiny and all the blue MAGA fuckwits, it's the only fucking position that you can hold. Like, unironically, I think it is the only fucking position that you can hold that can sort of justify a lot of the behavior of these fucking dipshits, dude.
Up for him. Can you wrap your head around that? What more do you need to hear to understand what this douchebag is? Oh, and politics aside, there's another reason why Destiny hates Hassan specifically. It's because he wants to fuck Hassan and he was rejected. Check out this clip from a few years ago. It's Destiny and Hassan back when they were more amicable, plus Andy Milonakis for some reason. Watch how Destiny just blatantly gropes Hassan over and over again in a way that—
Old fucking clip, but you know, honestly, I mean, you could make this argument that basically, he wanted to bang Hassan. Fuck it, you know what? I don't give a shit. Fuck you, Destiny. You can suck my dick.
Would get him immediately canceled if Hassan were a woman.
I see that. I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead. It's booby time, isn't it? No. Okay, just meet for these. You gotta recover your muscles. I'm a serious food addict. I know, but like your muscles have to rebuild. After you work out, you need protein. You understand? Oh, you have a straight alcohol list. I'm sure you do. Yeah, did you want to get a Red List? Why do you think you can just sign on to our internet? We're using it right now.
Dude, he's gay.
I wash my hands with soap. Does it smell like soap? I don't want to smell it. Your boobs are gonna grow. You need sugar the chest cage?
He's gay.
If I touch you too much, push my hand away, okay? I don't want to insult you. Okay. I'm gonna touch you when I'm drunk. I know, dude. Alright, stop. If I ever make you uncomfortable, just let me know. Stop.
Guys, he's gay.
Actually, he's a sociopath, so when he's drunk, all of these emotions that he's hiding inside of him to make it seem like he's this cool, calm, and collected guy who doesn't care. Stop rubbing me, dude. Hey, guys. 1%. Just I fell on you for a second. I'm so sorry. Stop, dude. You're fat for Stop. We live in an international market. I know. We're gonna leave America. We're gonna go over here to China. Okay, dude. Well, China, is that where they're going to visit Europe? They're gonna go. Alright, dude. You have to like literally stand on top of me, dog. What the fuck? Okay, stop.
Fuck me. What a lecherous creep, right? He clearly.
Listen, I have to say, okay, real fucking quick. I was there when that fucking stream happened. I was there when it fucking happened. It was just really, really weird. Everyone was like basically commenting saying like, so that was just like a little weird. What were they doing? Like everyone was just kind of commenting on like Destiny's just like weird behavior. Like, I mean, this was like 7+ years ago, so I'm not gonna have like a perfect recollection in terms of all of this. But everyone was just like kind of looking at this and be like, Okay, I mean, you know, whatever. Destiny's just a big fan. He loves Hasan. They thought it was like brotherly and camaraderie or something. Like, I mean, some people were saying that's like, you know, it's just like a little weird. I don't know why Destiny's like doing this, but yeah, you know, it's like a little weird. But for the most part, people did not really see it as like a red flag. For the most part, there were people who thought it was a little weird, but for the most part, people were just like, whatever, just kind of whatever.
Clearly has been reeling from this rejection ever since, given that he made actual death threats against Hasan, just because Hasan pointed out that his son sounds like a neo-Nazi. That really justifies murdering someone, Steven? Really? This is not isolated either. Here's Hasan talking about all the doxing and other weird shit from Destiny.
It's perfectly okay to ban this harassing doxer from your events. I've seen people posting logs of him asking Dan to create a stalking app to harass Hasan during his IRLs. I wanted to include the context of what he was last talking about 2 to 3 hours before asking him.
Like I've said before, Dan Stockman, Diddy Dan Stockman, is Destiny's fucking point man to, well, do a bunch of stalking harassment.
To do that. How fucking base would it be if Hasan actually got? It was an honor fed posting. How fucking base would it be if Hasan actually got? Just a heads up, I'm going to be doing some mass harassment campaigns on every single journalist who gives this guy, he's talking about me, free interviews from now on. Someone is going to die soon in this space, I'm pretty sure. I don't know who, but there's nowhere to go on. Literally anything. Every single person is a pedophile child molester. Every issue is about infinite genociding Palestinians. Every single person is so fake and virtue signally. There's literally nowhere else to go at this point. I'm not sure who, but I think it will happen soon. Like, the tankies like Hasan can do all the sex pest memes, propaganda memes, live left, they're all, oh no, I can't touch that. That's too dramatic, and I need to be self-critical of other lives. It's actually so far beyond fucking cucked. It's all over. Waiting for the Civil War reset or something. I mean, this is a guy who writes school shooter manifestos on a daily basis, pretty much, about me and anyone around me. And then there are so many people who are just like oblivious. There's so many people who are oblivious. 7 years of defamation, mass harassment, direct cyber stalking. It's just insane. Most people don't know who he is, but the ones who do know who he is find him to be a despicable little rat. And that makes sense. I mean, here he is in Israel, surrounded by his fans in the Israeli occupying forces.
Is he really? Yeah. Wait, shit, we should find him. We can try after. I'm curious. Yeah. Okay. Have a good one. I'll see you around. You're next. Yeah. Thank you.
What family, Boy Meets Mini? What family does this motherfucker have? He's basically cut ties with the entirety of his family. He divorced his wife. His kid fucking hates him. His mother, I don't think, really gives much of a shit about any of his behavior. I don't know if whatever happened to Destiny's dad, it doesn't really fucking matter. I don't know if they're like on speaking basis or if he's dead, for example. I've never heard of anything about Destiny's dad. As far as I'm concerned, they don't really sort of talk with one another, or it's just not in his life or whatever. Like, he doesn't have any people to tell him that his fucking dumbass behavior is psychotic and it should stop. It is not healthy, because he just surrounds himself with a bunch of yes men and fucking sycophants. Like, that's it. If I turned out like this, a lot of my relatives would intervene and probably send me to professional counseling. Well, you know, that's because you have a normal family, Boy Meets Mini.
So yeah, no, he is actually legally stalking and harassing me. It has definitely gotten to that point. And not only that, but he's also openly admitted it on numerous occasions. So I think there's sufficient evidence to do so. I mean, if I had literally done a fraction of what Destiny has been saying about me, trying to identify where I'm at in real time, saying someone's got to do it, someone should kill this guy, Hasan has said enough that is worthy of killing him, and also openly admitting to harassment of this sort. And on top of that, it's been 7 years and he's not let up, and his freak ass audience are constantly trying to, you know, intercept me in the real world at the direction of Destiny. You know, it is stalking. It is
looking at you, Darius IRL and Northa's Live, you fucking freaks.
Organized harassment is organized stalking and organized harassment.
This is Hasan's shit to deal with. I'm just showing everyone how completely deranged Destiny is. This toxic behavior is encouraged in his fans as well. When Destiny got banned from Twitch for hateful conduct, including using racial slurs, his fans brigaded as usual and made a big stink over anti-Semitism on the platform because Hasan exists. This resulted in all kinds of controversy for Twitch.
Yep, this was the Twitch apocalypse specifically that was done by both Ethan Klein and also Dan Stockman. Oh, fun fact about Darius IRL, he has a restraining order against him. So, you know, he's a massive fucking goddamn freak. And by the way, we had a brigade recently that happened from a, more than likely, a Destiny viewer. I would not be surprised if that was done by some freak in Darius's fucking audience. Because again, these people are psycho. They're literally psychotic. There is no point in having any rapport with a lot of these motherfuckers. They will just do everything possible to act as much of large schizophrenics as possible. It doesn't matter. And again, the basis for the fucking Twitch apocalypse that happened was because of some dumbass fucking tier list about hummus, for fuck's sake, about affinity for Arab culture. It's stupid, man. They spend all this energy while Hassan canvasses in 20 states. Yeah, you know, so much for, you know, as much as all the DGGers love to soy pog out constantly about Destiny's political advocacy, why the fuck does Destiny not focus on his quote-unquote political advocacy, and we prefer to just, like, I don't know, be, like, really weird and annoying to Hassan instead? You know, it should make some people think, you know, just a little bit, right?
And sponsors pulling spots. Continuing with what a heinous piece of shit Destiny is, here's some more miscellanea.
You have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house to kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most...
This was, I think, Destiny, this is an old clip here. I think this was Destiny basically advocating for the killing of a teenager, if I recall correctly.
Fucked up shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it, but I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in it yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of... Oh my god. I was so close to this fucking address. I had fucking streets mapped out and fucking you have no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting interest in, like, owning a weapon. I got permits to own a gun and everything. Holy...
Yes, Destiny is talking about how he almost killed a kid and his father. The context is that some kid was engaging in cyber attacks that harmed his income at the time, and apparently the police wouldn't do anything, so his solution was to murder him and his dad. But don't worry, he didn't do it. Not because murder is bad, but because he didn't want to jeopardize his awesome life making so much money.
Guns.
What a great guy. And now for the meat of it. Remember that lawsuit I told you about last time but didn't go into many details? Destiny...
So yeah, this is the lawsuit specifically right now that he's having against Pixie, that he possessed a bunch of revenge porn on, where there was recent releases of his deposition from that lawsuit saying that, oh, he all of a sudden just does not understand what consent means. Very interesting, Destiny.
And he said, no way, he's lying. Pangburn said, oh my gosh, Dave could get sued for slandering Destiny. Nope, what I said was true, and here's a quick summary of that and more before diving into all the details. Destiny was caught sending non-consensually recorded pornographic material to a 17-year-old and receiving pornographic material from her as well. This qualifies as CSAM, or child sexual abuse material. He also shared that CSAM with his friends in a private Discord in order to find the minor he was soliciting. He tried repeatedly to fly her out to be with him, despite making no attempt to confirm she wasn't underage. Next, he was sexting the wife of a...
Quick reminder, the OnlyFans girl specifically here that Dave is talking about was 17 at the time.
Groiper, which is like those Nick Fuentes types, and it involved age play molestation fantasies focused on her own children. His ex-girlfriend saw the messages between the two, as well as beach photos of the wife's teenage daughters and their feet. I don't shame people for their fetishes or sexual preferences, but I do shame them for violating consent and for stuff with minors. So let's dig through the receipts for all...
That is a different one. I did not know about that one.
This shit. Okay, first up, Destiny knows that you need consent from people to share pornographic material that features them, right?
I kind of like have like my little archive of like Coomer material that I'll send to people if I want to. There were girls that I talked to past that I'd send stuff of like either me or Melina, and Melina talked to me and she's like, hey, if you're going to send any videos to new girls that we haven't talked about, like, let me know that first, because she wanted to be careful. I was like, oh, okay, sure, that's fine. I didn't think about it at the time because I didn't think it mattered, but yeah, sure. So I thought about that. So that was like an issue that me and Melina had that we talked about and then we resolved, right?
Oh, good. He does know that, except he has violated this consent.
Yeah, he's violated that fucking standard of consent consistently. Part of the reason, by the way, that's also part of the reason why Melina even left him from the beginning.
Incredible number of people, including his ex-wife Melina.
Things that's been done to me without consent or anything. that has been my past 5 years. Nothing has happened with consent with anyone, not me and not anyone else. Like there's been no consent.
Okay, so who was well into his 30s Destiny sharing non-consensual pornography with back in April 2022? A trusted long-term partner, perhaps? Nope. Meet Rose, a brand new Twitter account looking very suspicious for an 18-year-old selling not safe for work material. Even thirsty Destiny seems suspicious, but not quite enough. One-day-old account seems legit. No ID, no problem. Just write something on a piece of paper. That's good enough for me. It's not like I'm getting off on you being underage or anything. Destiny often claims she said she was 19. He's lying. So, barely even knowing...
Yeah, she was, well, she indicated that she was 18 on her profile. In reality, she was actually 17 during this whole time. Very, very cool.
This obviously underage person, he starts sending the porn. Lots of it. Some non...
And by the way, you want to know the main defense that a lot of the DGGers have been having with this fucking particular gross shit in general? They were basically saying that, oh, I can't believe that Dave is publishing this material of a minor. He should be sent to jail for this, for saying the explicit name of someone who's a potential victim within a lawsuit. So, I mean, that's cool. Fantastic. We're dealing with a bunch of incredibly, incredibly honest actors here.
consensually filmed, the rest non-consensually shared, and receiving it too. Anyway, exchanging porn is fun and all, but Destiny wants to bang. Where are you? Fly to me with my frequent flyer miles? I'm gonna be in some other places. Fly there to meet me? How about this place? Let's meet, let's meet, let's meet. He's relentless about it, but she just says her parents won't let her or something of the sort. Later, he will give photos of her to the website Kiwi Farms for them to figure out who and where she is, which qualifies as doxing. He wasn't even censoring her genitals when he did so, despite having firm reason to believe it was CSAM. He later claimed that he was baiting them into looking, which would be stupid if he knew she was 17, and indeed it was, since he...
Bro, good job baiting Kiwi Farms into, I don't know, getting a bunch of possession of CSAM. Very, very effective here by the master rhetorician here, known as Esteban Bonoblo.
Never verified her age because he didn't want to know. Then in November 2024, we meet Solo, Rose's boyfriend. Solo started by confronting him about the stuff with Rose. She was underage, and you knew it. Destiny figured Solo was just trying to scare him, so he ignored it. Then 5 days later, Solo persists and then leaks all the porn Destiny sent to Rose. Destiny doesn't seem to care much. What's the worst that could happen? Enter Pixie, aka Jane Doe from the lawsuit. She found out Destiny shared her pornography without explicit consent and was not pleased. He usually counters...
And by the way, real quick, this is just one of the fucking girls that Destiny had in his quote-unquote harem. One of the girls there specifically was, of course, Pixie. Yeah. Are we understanding here how much of a fucking piece of shit this dumbass is?
This with some song and dance about implied consent since she shared things with him, but it's bullshit. She had consent to share, he didn't. Cherry, Stasia, Abby MC, these are other women who were also exposed in the same revenge porn leak to Rose. Plenty of incriminating testimony here, all saying he did not have permission. Destiny non-consensually recorded some content and shared that and other content non-consensually, and when backlash hit, he and his loser cult fabricated rape allegations against someone else regarding one of his victims to deflect some of the heat from him. Altogether, there are currently 5 women who have credibly accused Destiny of sex crimes. They have proven they are in the videos shared non-consensually or shared logs of him sending them their...
And these motherfuckers basically like to complain about the fact that people keep calling him Sex Pestiny. Hey, Destiny viewers, this is why people keep calling him Sex Pestiny.
Stuff. He does nothing but dox and harass the shit out of all of them. And most importantly, that he was exchanging pornographic material with a minor was confirmed in court. Sorry, Pangburn, no false allegations in my content. So what about Rose's boyfriend, the leaker? Surely Destiny would help expose a guy who leaked revenge porn of him and all his good friends. Conveniently, Destiny had nothing to give the police, despite having proof he solicited a minor and that her boyfriend was complicit in it, and he knew how he was doing it. He already had a year...
Well, that's a little convenient. Now, I wonder why... Hey, Destiny viewers, I wonder why Destiny would be very, very non-specific in this particular endeavor. Why is Destiny being so, I don't know, like, evasive when it comes to this? That's a little interesting. No, I'm just saying.
Long head start on putting together a packet for the FBI, but no dice. So essentially, Rose was an Illinois minor being trafficked by Solo, who coerced her into making CSAM for Destiny, and then leaked everyone's explicit videos when he refused to speak to him. Now another problem is that Destiny held on to the CSAM.
Why you have Sherry's question? Yeah, keep pivoting. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You did?
Yes, I did. Yep. Now what?
That's amazing. Did you have audio recorded, or do you have consent to audio record all the gay men that you had sex with?
There was one. Yes, I did. Now what?
Oh, okay. Do you think it's prudent to send all of your homemade pornography to somebody you've known for 2 weeks?
I believe this was in the debate with Aiden Underground, where he literally admitted to all of his fucking goddamn crimes.
I do. It was hot. I cummed.
How long did you hold on to the pornography of a 17-year-old?
As soon as it was obviously no longer required to have done the thing. I'm not going to answer questions about my current court case, Connor, when every 2 days there's a new motion filed. Connor, do you think that is prudent for me?
Oh, it was not Aiden Underground. Yeah, it was Connor, actually. Never mind.
While you're being sued for sexual misconduct?
I'm engaging with a suicidal man right now, so I don't know. You tell me, Connor. So, now
Solo's identity has been public since January 2026, yet Destiny still hasn't given info to the authorities or filed a civil suit. He faced a sanctions hearing for spoliation on August 19th. He's accused of withholding his DMs with a trafficker from Discovery, only to leak them to his YouTube audience after Discovery closed. Good thing the plaintiff's lawyer was watching the stream for that, huh? So he had to delete some videos or pictures he received from the Rose account, but he's not able to admit he deleted them because it would potentially be responsive to his Discovery and a civil case. He also deleted 5 years worth of explicit videos on Google Drive and all the attachments to all the conversations with Rose, Solo, Abby MC, and so forth. Destiny claims he archived them all just in case, but refuses a neutral third-party inspection to prove Pixie's video wasn't shared.
I wonder why he's not allowing Discovery for all this stuff. Hey, DGGers, you should be asking yourself some rather important questions here. Why on earth would Destiny not be allowing any form of Discovery for this stuff? Do you think that there's any particular reasoning for that, DGGers? DGGers? Anything at all?
Non-consensually among those archives. Then there is the Groiper husband threatening Destiny over an online affair with his wife Britt and lewd photos of his daughter. I'll let this other guy explain it. A former Destiny pal named Connor.
He started sexting a girl on Discord named Britt. Britt and Devil, the man that I was just talking to, are military veterans who both have PTSD and military sexual trauma. In November, Devil contacted me and said that his wife was sexting with Destiny and engaged in roleplay scenarios in which they pretended to be each other's step-parents, step-family,
By the way, that's also been consistent in terms of the Rose leaks as well, where Destiny was consistently engaging in a lot of age play. Interesting.
And they role-played molesting their kids. Then, they also pretended to be the kids themselves. So, they contacted me in November. Devil said exactly that.
Very weird.
Britt said that they only engaged in babysitter roleplay, and it wasn't that serious. So since I had conflicting narratives, I confronted Destiny, and I wrote him a letter that I read to you on stream. For further confirmation of what went down, Britt anonymously called into someone named Mr. Girl, crying over what she let Steven do regarding her daughters.
This year, I was involved in an online affair with a guy for almost a year. My husband wouldn't engage with any of the weird trauma-induced kink stuff that I was curious about, and so I was compelled to impulsively and regretfully engage with this guy online in some pretty intense and taboo age play scenarios, including fantasizing about being step-parents to each other's kids. And obviously, it went way too far, but felt really intensely good in the moment. But afterward, I felt sick and cried all night because it obviously felt really bad too. How do you know if the other person also feels the same way or if they would actually do it? My understanding is the best predictors are drug use and low empathy. And even worse, what if you felt like you love them so much that you wouldn't care if they did, and you get off on what you would potentially be willing to allow them to get away with? What if the idea is kind of enticing to you in a way, even if you deny it or try to lie to yourself about it? Even if you never act out on something like that yourself? Lucky for me, it's over now. If you're saying that you doubt your willingness to hold boundaries in real life, then that is danger. Yes.
But Destiny didn't like this bizarre activity leaking.
Man, I would love to know how Destiny and all of his like sycophantic weirdos are going to be able to sweep under this one under the rug, you know? This is why you should really have no mercy for a lot of these like stupid motherfuckers in Destiny's sort of fucking orbit and like the schizophrenic freaks that exist in his sort of orbit at this moment, because again, he had a bunch of revenge porn material on 5 different girls that he sent to a 17-year-old at the time, a 17-year-old OnlyFans model who was also being sex trafficked by somebody else. Very, very fucking cool, by some random fucking pimp. All of that all those details got fucking leaked. And as a byproduct of that, that's where we have the current lawsuit between himself and fucking Pixie at the moment, which he is currently losing because Destiny has been constantly talking about how he's been losing a lot of fucking money. Some food for fucking thought there. Now, that's just the fucking Rose lawsuit. This is the other stuff that I did not know about, where he decided to engage in some age play with military veterans who were fucking traumatized because of this shit. Genuinely fucking insane, psychotic fucking behavior here by Destiny.
So he framed his friend Connor as the villain for reporting potential child abuse to the authorities. And in retaliation, Destiny posted a cropped photo of Connor's child, accusing Connor of sending him CSAM. Every accusation is a confession. Just like Israel, huh? To get a sense of how Destiny reacts to shit like this in general, here he is publicly advocating for doxing people when his behavior is exposed.
I expect the behavior from Kiwi farms. It is what it is. Like I said, communities like that will always exist. But it's really gross when people like Gistical, whose information I hope I can find soon, are like trying to amplify or put a magnifying glass on it over there and then have it spread it to the other world. That's just
very
wild
interesting.
To me, but, you know.
Here's Destiny publicly celebrating the death of someone's father while dropping his real name just because he dared to expose Destiny. Plenty of other admissions of him intentionally doxing and harassing
Yeah, fucking Destiny loves doxing people. He has no fucking principles in terms of any of this. If anyone fucking exposes any of his like psychotic freak behavior, he will dox them. He does not give a shit. He has no principles when it comes to any of this stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, I do not give a fuck if any of Destiny's information gets fucking doxed, because we are dealing with someone who, again, does not have any fucking standards or principles or beliefs when it comes to having, I don't know, his information or other people's information getting fucking doxed. Like, this guy, again, I'm going to say it, is a psychotic little freak.
Absolutely anyone who mentions his court case or any of his shady behavior, bragging about how easily he can get away with it, even though it's really shitty. If she was legit a minor, I'm probably done. Indeed you are, Steven. And
yeah,
still, Destiny's loser cult never ceases to show up for him. The haters are so mad that we know about all of this shit and still defend him. Grotesque. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, there was the time—
I fucking hate DGGers, man. Like, dude, you are following a doxing, sex pest, potential fucking rapist pedophile, bro. Yet you still defend him. Insane.
That he tried to get someone deported by ICE. Apparently it's possible that Pixie's wife was a green card marriage. Here he is talking about it in his chat room and also outing her by full name on Twitter, which I blacked out. He's doing this because she screamed at him in a condo lobby one time for obvious reasons, and he decided that he should dox her and then quote tweet some other guy sharing instructions on how to get her deported by ICE. Classy move.
Did someone say marriage fraud? Would be a darn shame if someone could click this link. or dial this number. Coming from Myron Gaines, by the way. Okay, bro. Nice meme.
Oh, and here's a fun bonus tidbit about this Myron Gaines guy.
Oh, literally fucking Myron Gaines was fucking replying to him. Oh, man, dude. In fucking crap. Destiny, I thought you didn't like the Fresh and Fit boys. What happened? What happened?
Quote tweeting.
Myron Gaines is a freak, an anti-Semitic freak.
He's a Nazi.
Anti-Semitism. Like, Aaron's positions on anti-Semitism are...
You do, dude. Fucking Dan, that's Dan's whole MO. His whole project is to fire Dan Clancy. And the whole thing is like saying fucking Hassan is going to genocide the Jews. You do.
Did you get that? Real anti-Semitism doesn't matter to Destiny, especially when it comes to having sex. He'll bring barely legal...
Yep. Hello, Empath Chan, who is, again, a Nazi. Yeah, he tried to fuck her. Of course.
Neo-Nazis around with him on tour for sex. That's how much he actually cares about...
And he also blew Nick Fuentes. Let's not forget about that.
Anti-Semitism, because nothing actually matters to a sociopath like him except his fetishes and petty grievances. That's why he attacks people like me or Hassan for imaginary anti-Semitism instead. Real classy. And how does Destiny feel about all this disgusting sociopathic behavior? If you ask him, he claims he's unimpeachable.
I feel like I'm largely immune from any big cancellations. Unless like fucking Battle.net logs get leaked to me from like 20 years ago or something. So yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm not typically worried about that. I just don't do much to get canceled. I don't have like...
The funniest thing about this is that technically speaking, what Destiny is saying here is actually accurate. He's not lying here. For once in his miserable, wretched little life, he's not actually lying here. But that's mostly because of the fact that the reason why he's quote-unquote uncancelable is because of the fact that he is surrounded by a cult who is never willing to call out any of his actions.
Like edgy opinions sometimes, but the way that I live like my private life and my professional life are all pretty above board. Like, I'm a pretty good person. I pay my taxes. I don't cheat on any of that shit. I take care of all my paperwork. I do, yeah. Like I think for the most part, I'm pretty unimpeachable as a person.
And with his political canvassing operation Digital Ground Game running damage control for him, messaging people and whitewashing all the shit he's done, who could blame him? He feels invincible. Hassan noticed. And that's probably the end of this saga for me. I have absolutely no intention of being dragged into the cesspool that is never-ending reactionary YouTube political slop and tribal mudslinging, as this would be a fruitless distraction from my science communication. And honestly, combing through all this stupid...
I do think that, yes, I really do hope that Dave does not further engage in the infinite regress that is fucking Destiny. Because it is tiresome. It is boring. It is non-fucking sensical. And he should stop. I'm going to be honest here, that this should be the last fucking video, because again, there is no point in engaging with someone like Destiny in an honest manner, because he himself has never been honest, and will only continue in terms of the psychotic fucking freak behavior that he is going down along. For what reason exactly? Oh, just because he's mad at a fucking himbo streamer. It's stupid.
Drama. He said this, she said that, I sent this, they posted that. It nearly made my fucking head explode. Who lives like this every day? I've never felt so old as I did putting together this last section, and I hope to never have to do anything like that again. Reading esoteric primary literature on astrophysics is way more forgiving. The point is that Destiny made a clickbait video pretending to expose me as a Jew-hating Nazi, so I clapped back to expose his slander and make the case for Israel's genocide. He made a limp dick response, sent the troll army after me, and Pangburn went off the fucking deep end, filleting AI for 50 hours to do damage control for his prized pig, desperately trying to smear me, even though he has nothing but fake accusations of anti-Semitism, while Destiny is a sexual predator and genocide apologist, who Pangburn will now be judged very harshly for platforming, with all the facts out in the open. So I gave you this one to mock both of them for all this activity, and I'm out. I have way more important things to do. But once again, for the record, I did not start this shit. I rarely do. Even when I do start things, I'm always super charitable at first. James Tour, Sabina Hassenfelder, my first videos poking those figures were incredibly forgiving. It's when they react like toddlers that I go full Hulk. This wasn't even that. Destiny was not on my radar. I've vaguely known about his Zionism for a while. I didn't say anything. Then I noticed he did a reaction video to my Danny Jones appearance.
There's a whole genocide happening over here that no one...
Okay, that is also true. Yeah, literally Destiny started all this bullshit. I can only assume that whatever dumb fucking his chat decided to be like, hey, look at this anti-Semite that you can fucking dunk on. Good job, Destiny. You literally just decided to let some massive science communicator even further tank your fucking career. For what reason exactly? I don't know, because you're a fucking freak.
Is talking about, and you'll never know about it because it's not.
There's the reason why Dave hates me is because he's obsessed with the Israel-Gaza thing, which is funny because he commits all the same errors when it comes to Israel-Palestine as he sees other people doing with the vaccine shit, but that's okay.
Still, I let this one bullshit comment slide since he was joining me in mocking Danny's supplement shilling and incompetence. And at that time, I still thought he deserved points for his anti-MAGA efforts. But then he throws this shit out there, calling me a Jew-hating Nazi, and then
I'm going to be honest here, all that fucking anti-MAGA sort of like shit that he was engaging with, the only reason why Destiny was doing that was because it's palatable to his audience and it was popular at the time. That's it, right? Destiny, again, does not actually believe in really much of anything. There is not a belief or any sort of like believable bone in his fucking body. If Destiny can say that the sky is green in order to be able to be spiteful against lefties, he'll just do it. It doesn't fucking matter. There is no point in honest engagement with Destiny or any of his fucking audience because these people are not interested in honest engagement. They are freaks.
Matching his troll army to attack me as though there wouldn't be consequences? It's like, do people somehow still not know who I am and how I do? When you fuck around, you find out. He poked the hornet's nest twice now, and this is what you get. You get your pitchfork-toting mob sprayed down with a power hose and your house of cards set on fire. Destiny thought he could run cover for Israel as a backup plan for getting exposed as a sex pest, and both threads are unraveling simultaneously. His Israel apologetics have become totally indefensible, and his revolting predatory behavior is finally having legitimate real-world consequences. He has nowhere left to run. He could come clean and admit that this is genocide and start telling the truth about Israel, but that's the thing about sexual predators. They always protect themselves first. As for Destiny's pathetic cult members, the brigading troll army, the cockroach party, it's your turn to listen up. What I've done to your dear leader is quite devastating. I'm not the first to expose all of this, but it's now all in one convenient location for an entirely new audience to see what a worthless piece of shit your hero is. You mindless lemmings who dox, threaten, harass into oblivion anyone who dares shine a spotlight on the spineless pervert you've been trained to insulate. You who have already desperately tried to get my channel terminated on the grounds of imaginary terrorism like pathetic little babies, I can feel the rage towards me bubbling inside you. Your instinct will be to target me even more directly, puffing up your little boy chests and doing anything you can to ruin my life.
Free Destiny. Free Stephen Kenneth Bottle II.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Dude, we got this little fucking twink boy over here. This little fucking loser, Darius IRL. Dude, imagine being a dude with a fucking restraining order, being so desperate to suck the cock of some doxing sex pest little fucking freak. But then again, I wonder why you probably got that fucking restraining order there, Darius. Maybe because you're a little weirdo sex pest yourself.
Hey, Frogan! Free Destiny, motherfucker! Free Stephen Kenneth Bottle II! He did nothing wrong, and you can't get shot! No!
Oh, wait! Oh! Because there was a post there by, This was what Frogan was mentioning when there was some, like, weird Zionists who came up to attack her. Dude, it was Darius! Dude. I now know. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know about this information here, Professor Dave. Hey, Darius, what, do you want to get another fucking restraining order, you little fucking freak?
I just did. Oh, you did nothing, pussy. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Hey, don't come at me, bro. How you gonna do something? Don't touch me. What you gonna do? Fucking retard, kill yourself.
Listen, I'm not.
Fucking says this stupid little twink over here. Bro, I don't know, man. You're looking a little brown there, dude. You have a little bit of brown skin. Maybe I should call ICE or DHS on your goofy looking head ass. Get your dumb ass fucking deported. I'm just saying, buddy.
I'm not Destiny. I'm not gonna play around and troll you. I will do a one-way trip to your house, and I will knock on your door with my stream right outside, and I will bang, bang, bang until you answer. Keep fucking with me, and we'll see what happens. That's a threat. Do it.
Yeah, this little asshole named Darius is a whole other rabbit hole, and if you think he's the only Destiny worshipper who's like this, you'd be dead wrong. But know this, tough little children. If you show up at my house, if you come near my wife and kids, if you put any of us at risk for a single second, I will destroy you. Real-world consequences will arrive for you at lightning speed if you do absolutely anything beyond acting like a little bitch in the comments section, which you're welcome to do to boost my content in the algorithm. So think long and hard about how badly you need to continue acting like disposable pawns for your sex pest cult leader who doesn't give two shits about you. And finally, the American-Israeli war machine, which was the impetus for all this. Like I outlined in my previous video, the genocide, the Orwellian surveillance, never forget that this is all one thing. Zionism is the oligarchy. Weapons manufacturers testing new toys on Gazans to market them as battle-tested for global export. Real estate moguls planning luxury resorts and high-rises on the ashes of slaughtered children in New Gaza. Palantir mass surveillance tech being used on both Gazans and American citizens for techno-fascist billionaires that are actively planning to tank the global economy and replace federal governments with independent corporate-owned and operated dystopian city-states. The moral failure of Zionism and the genocide of Palestinians we are witnessing in real time is inextricably linked to this last gasp of predatory capitalism, as the unquenchable thirst for profits finally consumes every last institution, gutting and privatizing every last public service, destroying entire democracies and ecosystems in an effort to maintain untenable short-term gains. This is the real existential fight. Everything else is a distraction, including Destiny's weird-ass sex stuff. So I'm gonna get back to my efforts now. So that's it for Destiny and Pangburn. May their reputations continue to suffer appropriately. I guess some people just never learn. And with that, it's back to debunking all the anti-science propaganda peddling frauds from every corner of the internet to every corner of Trump's cabinet, since that's what we're all here for. Until next time.
Fantastic, excellent follow-up video there of course, by Professor Dave, constantly shitting on and exposing Destiny for how much of a fucking psychotic little freak that he is. And this Pangburn individual who's basically a skeptic only when he feels like it, when he feels like it's most effective for him. Of course. Whoa, this some random motherfucker who believes in fundamentally nothing. Whoa, what a shocker. What else is there to really say? Fuck you, Destiny. Fuck you, Darius. Fuck you, Pangburn. You guys are psycho little freaks who just want to have, like, the metaphorical destruction of the planet. For what exactly? Because you're spiteful against the left. You guys are psycho little freaks and should lose your fucking careers.